Stop your bitch, Jerry. We're live now. Ciao. Hi, guys. Welcome to Stay Fishy Friday, the best Friday night live stream ever. We're here to just hang out and have a great time with you guys. Answer all your questions, do what we can do. But yeah, we're on time again tonight, Tyler. Don't you say nothing, Snappy. Okay. The drinking word tonight. We talked about it earlier. What did we come up with? Was it Josh?
How about ribs?
We could do ribs too. Rib or ribs. That's fine. So the drinking word is rib. You'll find out why in a little bit. But Depth Charge. What's up, buddy? Cheers. Okay. So now this week we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. Guys, please don't text me while we're in the live stream because I got doctors and nurses I have to do. Oh, this is my son. Never mind. My bad. Josh, you know better than text me during the live stream, son. Anyways, ouch. Oh my God, I'm so much pain. All right, so here's what's been happening. All the videos you've seen, me taking care of everything while Josh is out, and then trying to updo and get all the projects that he had marked down done while he's out. You know, I've worked my ass off. I've tried every single video to get a new project done, not just start on it, not just do a little bit on it, but every video I'm trying to finish a project. And you know, I was kind of let down by today's video when Josh comes in. He's like, well, I see they've done this, but if I'd have done it, I'd have done it different. I was like, man, that don't sound like appreciation to me. I was kind of, you know, what do you want to say, butthurt by my son? You know, I took over and I've done a good job and I'm trying hard and I'm up every day and I'm going without sleep. You got to understand, listen to this. This will blow your mind. Tuesday comes. Now, Tuesday nights, I have to do 16 hours watching Tracy. And I used to do it while taking naps. I can't do that no more because I slept through my alarm on my phone trying to wake me up to reposition her and all this. And Tracy paid for it. So I won't do that no more. I stay up all 16 hours from 3 o'clock at night till 7 in the morning, you know, watching Tracy. And then, you know, Wednesday, the day nurse comes. She works her 8-hour shifts. I sleep. And I only get like 4 hours sleep on Wednesdays because I go to sleep. She gets here at 7. I'm asleep by 7:30. And then by noon, the community service people are here. So at the most, I can get 5 if I fall asleep instantly, which I don't do. Okay, so then, you know, Wednesday afternoon, I have to do 16 more hours from 3 o'clock till 7 in the morning again, till Thursday. Well, this week, we have a fill-in nurse because our main head nurse is gone for the week. She's down in Florida. That's Latrice. And, you know, she's got her reasons, everything. It's her vacation. That's fine. The fill-in nurses that we got decided not to show up on Wednesday day, which is the worst day of the week not to show up for me. I just worked a 16-hour shift. I need a little bit of sleep to work the next 16-hour shift. She didn't show up, so I had to fill in and do her 8-hour shift. So now we've got, you know, 16 and 8's 24. And then, you know, at the end of her shift, I have to take over my shift, which is another 16 hours. So that's 40 hours straight hours of working, right? So I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna get some sleep on Thursday day. Carol shows up, everything's fine. I stay up with her a little bit, you know, getting her doing, because she's a new nurse, so I have to, you know, work with her. So by 8 o'clock, I get a text message that, you know, Skylar was coming over. She has a dentist appointment close by at the Cleveland Clinic, or I'm sorry, not a dentist, a medical appointment at Cleveland Clinic, and she's going to stop by after her appointment. Her appointment's at 8:30 or something. So I'm like, okay, it's 8 o'clock. I'm going to jump in the shower. I got me a shower, and, you know, I was done by, say, 9:30, and then, you know, she shows up at like 9:30ish. And, you know, I walk around showing her every different thing. It was a really nice visit. She was very sweet, very nice, you know, different than normal, but she was very nice. You know, we played a game of pool, this and that, you know, this and I showed her all the new stuff that got done around here since she's been around, and she was amazed. And so she leaves at 11 o'clock. Now I've got from 11 till noon to sleep. I didn't go to sleep. I just said, screw it. I got me a drink. I'm ready for, noon community service. So now add that 8 hours on top of that's 48 hours. And then I got to watch Tracy on Thursday from 3 o'clock until 11 o'clock at night, an 8 hour shift. So we're at 48. So 54 hours, was it? I haven't slept. And you know what? Back in the day, I could do that, but there were certain things involved, and we don't do them things no more. 54 hours straight, 60 hours, whatever it was too much. I was dead to the world. And I helped the community service guy carry in the plants, from outside, because that night it was getting down to 39 degrees. And all those elephant ears, everything that we grew this summer was going to die if I left them out there. So we carried all them plants in, and I didn't care where we placed them as long as we got them in. They won't die. They might not thrive, but they're not going to die. So and carrying them in, I fell carrying an elephant ear, and when I fell, I hit one of the rocks on the side that I broke a rib. And now it's been so painful for the last. You haven't seen the video yet. It comes out Monday because Josh did the video. It would have come out Friday, but Josh did Friday's video today. Ow. So I've been in pain like crazy, but I got sleep today. Carol showed up. I slept during the day. Beatrice is here now. And, I got to lay in bed. I got to sleep. I feel so much better. But with a broken rib, and it's up high, it's right here. I can't breathe in hard. I can't cough. I can't, laugh. Jerry, oh my God, this MFer makes me laugh all the time, and he's killing me over here. So I can't open this sliding glass door with this arm. It's like this whole arm I can't move. I have to open the sliding glass door with the left arm and stuff like that. It's been terrible. So, I endured the 54 hours of no sleep, and then I wake up and
Rib, everybody.
Rib, there's the drinking word. So now I'm walking around like a zombie. My right arm can't move because if I do, I move the muscles in this chest, and it's so high up. It ain't a rib down here. It's a rib up here. It moves everything. It knocks the wind out of me. It's like somebody stabbing me every time and twisting the blade. And, it just hurts. It's painful. So I'm going through that. But I did get some sleep today. So I'm very happy with that. And, the whole Joshy thing, I felt he's going to come over here and be like, oh, my God, Dad, I can't believe you've done this, blah, blah, blah. Thank you. And he was more like, a couple things got done. But when I get back, things are going to, no, what else did he say? If I was doing this, I would have done this, this, and this. And I'm like, oh, my God, he didn't sound appreciative about it. That kind of hurt me. Because I've been busting my ass and going without sleep and doing everything I can and making his videos on top of my videos, and just getting these projects done to show him that, we can pull together as a family and get things done. And it kind of hurt me that, he wasn't like, I don't know. He didn't seem impressed, but, we got that whole big tank up and running. We got it finished painted. We did all that. We put the filtration on it. We got the dog bone, routed. We got the dog bone carried onto the stand. We got the gravel in it. We got, all the plants carried in. We've done a lot. We got the fence built on the outside. Josh wasn't around for that. We got, all the stuff cleaned on the outside, got the outside clean, and then more stuff came in, Reaper, and it brought so much more stuff. And now, he walks in the back and he says, oh, look at this mess. Oh my God, it was clean yesterday. I swear to God, Reaper just dropped off all this crap today. So I don't know. It kind of bothered me a little bit, but he's my son. I love him. I just wish it was a little more, I don't know, appreciation. I get it. He's going through a rough time, and it's hard for him because, with this fractured tailbone on top of all the breaks, he couldn't even scooch, from the couch to the chair. It hurt him. The first week, his brother was picking him up and taking him to the bathroom to set him down. It was rough for him. I get all that. Mark Bridge says, I don't think Josh means it the way you're hearing it. I also think Josh is hurting as he cannot help with pride. Of course, that's all 100% true. I believe
gotta
that.
be going stir crazy. So.
Oh, he's got to be going stir crazy too. You know, I go over there and he's laying on the couch, and the only thing he moves for is to go to the bathroom, and then it's a big ordeal. You know.
Don't get used to it.
So I don't know. I kind of, it didn't. I mean, there was a tinge of something in there in that video today, but I was like, no, man, you know, I worked so hard to make him proud that we can do this. Jerry's worked extra hard, and he's been helping me, and you know, all the community service, we're actually working him instead of playing and having fun and getting some work done. We're getting a lot of work done. I mean, we're getting things done over here. We're busting our ass so that, you know, when he comes back, I can take a break.
Shauna's got a good point there.
Ow.
You know, it's took it more like Josh giving you shit like you guys always do.
We do give each other shit. We do that. And that's part of the fun around here, you know. I've had people are like, oh my God, Rich, you got to treat the community service people better. But they're not seeing it as, you know, we have two guys and I kind of get them competing with each other. Oh, look, we got this guy that can carry the plants fine. And look at, what do I call him? Look at the slacker here, you know. And he's like, yeah, just keep on, no problem, bro. And I'm just messing with you, you know, and that kind of stuff. And we get them working, and we have fun, you know. We laugh a lot. We do a lot of stuff. So I don't know, but yeah.
Sorry, Sue Ann. Jerry's quite the cameraman. Man.
You see where I put a pacu in, and he pans away from it and goes over here and watches this thing. I'm like, Jerry, no, over here. Put the camera over here. Oh shit! Oh.
Well, when that one busted the net.
Oh, that was crazy, wasn't it?
I almost ran right up your back, man. I'm trying to.
You're trying to keep up with us, and then we had to stop.
And boy, she was pulling you. Yeah, that was good. That was fun.
Hey, we got it done, and yeah, that first Paku going over, she was definitely pulling me.
Yeah,
I'm pulling her back. I can't run that fast and watch my footsteps. I'm blind, and I have to watch where I put my feet. The fish can live, you know, 2-3 minutes out of water. We're fine. I need to watch my feet so I don't trip and fall, and then the fish is out of the water like an extra 3 minutes because I have to get back up, you know. So I had to watch my feet. She was definitely pulling me.
that was fun. Not much fun for the fish.
Shauna says, I didn't hear any irritation. No, Josh wasn't irritated, but he was more like, hey, you know, they got some things done, but if I was here, it had gotten done better. If I was here, I'd have done this. If I was here. And I was like,
I think it was more, he was just saying he'd have done it different, done something else first.
Well, he didn't tell us,
No, he doesn't.
you know, certain parameters. So I'm going by my parameters. Let's get the tank up on there. We put it on there backwards. We pulled it back off, floated it around. We put it back on.
All right, don't worry about it.
He wanted to, I guess underneath the tank, he wanted to put a seal of caulk under there. And I'm like, there's no reason. We've got the gap taken up. What was hanging down before and ripped away from the side is now pushed back up against the side. All we need is a bead of caulk on the inside, you know? So we took care of that problem. And then he's like, well, I would have already done this and that. I'm like, you know what? I'm thinking of just taking that whole, you know, overflow system out and leaving it glass, you know? He's like, no, we need that to get it at a certain height to go over. And I'm like, okay, well, we can put in, here's where he made sense. On the dog bone tank, when it was up and running, remember we had the overflow in the one corner?
Yeah.
And the fish kept bashing it like at least once a week, twice a week.
Tell me about it. Yeah,
and then
it would knock the damn thing off.
Right.
To reset it.
If we use the one that's built in, it'll never move. The fish can't move it.
I believe nobody appreciates that dog bone being out of there more than me. That was direct competition. Was that Jerry that spilled the tank, or was that the dog bone again?
It was half and half. It was half and half.
For a while there, yeah.
But now, you know, the way we made the stand, the dog bone is at a 1/4 inch incline towards the pool. So on this side, it won't. You'll see a 1/4 inch different from this side. If it's an inch away from the top, this side will be 3/4 inch away from the top. And anything that leaks will run back into the pool. We won't have no leaking problems. And it won't leak as much as it did because it was on a deteriorated stand that was sagging in the middle, and the whole bottom of the tank wasn't flat. It was sagging down like this and causing more leaks. So the wood was getting wetter. It was getting softer. It was horrible. You know, we finally got it off that stand. It's on a sound structural stand now. We won't have no more bottom leaks, but there is still a couple areas around the top. If you fill it up more than 3 inches from the top, if you fill it up to an inch of the top, there is like parts that squirt out, but them are easy fixes. We can do that. So so yeah, we're just gonna let that go. But it was a good video today. But you know what I want to say? Every video I've done since he's been gone, well, granted, it's been a lot of projects, so there's a more interest in that. Because all my videos before were always like number 4, number 7, number 6, Every video I've done since, from getting the fish tank done, went straight to number 1. Getting the paku moved, went straight to number 1. All these videos. And so, I see while now, it's more interest in getting the projects done than it was me doing the behind the scenes here at the rescue, with Reaper doing the behind the scenes, going and doing pickups, So Josh was always getting the mainly, most interesting videos because he's doing the projects. With me doing the projects, they all went to number 1 except for there was the last video. What did I do? Oh, moving the paku, that went to number 2. All the other videos before that went to number 1. So, we're doing good. Everything's doing good. And now I don't feel like such a failure because my videos are at 5 and 6 and Josh's were all at 1. Because the projects around here were always getting number 1.
Wow. A lot of comments.
Ow. It hurts just to lift my arm up here.
Vasquez is here.
No, you're way down. Let me go back up to the beginning and start here. Okay. Because I've been talking for a while, so all this went by. I got to start back.
Moving that cylinder for the Vasquez family.
If you want, yeah, sure.
Oh, we got it. We'll probably use the other one.
Infield Ike says, yeah, Josh sounded a bit ungrateful. I don't think it was ungrateful. I just don't think he realized how much we actually did. I just think, I don't know. Sue-Ann said you did a good job, Rich. Thank you, Sue-Ann. Tyler says, I think Josh meant what you were saying. You did a good job just in his own way. I think, at least in my opinion, yeah. Oh, I definitely don't put down my son. Murray Dean said you did a fantastic job. The JLC says, why doesn't Richie help you? Okay, Richie and Josh went together on a side project, and they started buying houses like I did throughout their whole life because they were with me when I ripped down all the drywall, put up all new drywall, and did all this work. And, don't show it right away. Don't show it. Set it down. There you go. And so they were with me when I bought my properties. I own 9 properties, and, they helped me out. And then so Richie and Josh are doing this, and they own, I think they're up to 8 or 10 or something like that. And, he's working. That's what he does all day long. He works on all these properties. And him and Josh are renting them out. And, they're actually now starting to make money from it. So Richie's always busy. And then he's got my properties. I can't go and leave Tracy and go up there and do this work. So he, does all my property work too, So he's very busy. So that's how he's helping me take care of his mom. Josh helps me take care of his mom by coming over here and taking care of the rescue for me, a lot, and getting projects done while I'm in here taking care of Tracy. Well, now I'm having, to watch Tracy and take over for Josh and deal with, Richie not actually being here, but, they're all helping. They all help in their own way, and it's been working for us. So don't look down upon them for not being here because they're taking care of other work too. I mean, it's a big thing around here that, everybody helps everybody, Chris, so I think that's a kind of a little bit sarcastic. He says he's half crippled. He can't do backflips of appreciation. Yeah, but, You can come in and be like, oh my God, I can't believe my dad did this. I can't believe my dad did that. That's so awesome of him. He took on the extra work. He's going with less sleep. He's still taking care of mom. I just think he could have been a little more. I don't want him to do backflips. He's hurt. I like Mark's thing the best, where it says, I don't think Josh means it the way you're hearing it. I heard it a certain way. He didn't mean it that way. And he is hurting that he can't help with projects, because that was his thing. And now I'm able to do it and getting a lot done, so it's got to be something on that. Bill says, I think you're just cranky, old man. Josh didn't seem that way to me, but I'm just ribbing you. I know you are, Bill.
There's that rib word again.
Rib, there you go. Drink up, guys. I'm so glad I don't drink with my right hand, because I can't lift my right hand that much.
It's resting on camera.
Sean, it says, I took it more like Josh is giving you shit. Like, I do appreciate that. That doesn't happen.
Now your right hand is resting on Pamela Anderson right now. So.
Yeah, it is. Bob Taylor says, don't read too much into it. I get it. Harley says, Josh said he appreciated all you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
I think he is just cranky. He can't do it his way, and he's stuck and used to nonstop busy. Yeah, and nonstop, you can't move from that couch is killing him. It really is. Chris O says, if he hasn't been there in a month, he maybe forgot about how much clutter there was. He didn't see that I cleaned up that entire side of the house, and I had it beautiful, didn't we? We had it gorgeous looking out there. And then Reaper came and dropped off a whole trailer full and van load of stuff right in the grass. And then he shows up the next day. Oh, look at how messy this place. Oh my God. We have cleaned and worked. Marie Dean says, with your rib being broken, time to take a break. No, I couldn't take a break. You should have seen me changing Tracy in the last 2 days. It's been horrible. I'm like, please, Tracy, don't fight me. Please help me. It hurts so much. But, no one else is going to take over, so I got to do it. Nicholas Dean has a good question. Or Nicholas Duran. If I ever pronounce you guys' names wrong, like Tony Ickles. I can't see, so I've always seen I-C, blah, 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 E-S. And I thought it was Ickles. It was Ickes. There was no L in there, but with my vision, I didn't notice it, Anyway, hang on, I'm still talking. Nicholas Duran says, what up, Big Rich? Keep up the good work. You can only do so much. I was wondering, how do you heat your water for your system? Now, great question. In the fish room, where Jerry works all the time, it's 85 degrees in there because we heat the air. Okay, so the air stays warm. All the tanks are at 83 to 84 degrees, except for when the close ones to the floor are about 81, 82, I'd say. Around there? Okay. Yeah. So, that's how we heat that room. Now, the pool itself is heated by the actual original pool heater, and the air in there gets down cold. But it's okay. But you know what? In the middle of winter, when it's like 30 degrees outside and we got the pool heated to 84 degrees, you come out there and, oh my God, there is a fog across the top of the whole pool. It is so beautiful looking. It's awesome looking because of the heat of the water and the coldness of the air. Okay, what were you going to say, Jerry? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was still talking.
Josh is on.
Oh, Josh is on? Shauna says, I didn't hear any irritation in Josh's voice. I said that before. No, I didn't hear no irritation. I just, I felt a little like he didn't appreciate as much as what I did. And, he don't realize what we went through every day while he wasn't here. Because he's here so much and he hurts so much. I mean, he does so much. Art Holt says, yeah, I think it was more cranky because of the pain. That's possible too. And goofing, that's also definitely possible. He always rags on me. I rag on him. And that's how, we love each other. And that's how it's done. We rag on each other and laugh. We have a lot of fun laughing. Lorenz says, Jerry's better with the camera than Steven Spielberg. No, he's not. Don't tell him that. Oh, oh. Tyler said, don't worry, Rich. You don't have to worry about saying fuck because it's hilarious when you do. Okay, well.
Thank you, Mandy Davies. It belonged to my father.
Oh, she said she liked your hat.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know.
Sean says, I was happy to hear that the second Jow cat is doing well in the monster pond. Loren says, hey, Tyler, I am Dutch just like Steven Spielberg, so it's a big compliment. Okay. Marie Dean says, rib twice. There you go, Marie. Whip's here. What's up, Whip? I get through all these side talks.
You said he's bailing in for a while.
Kelly Ogle says, Josh could be really wanting to do more than what he can. His whole life has changed. Oh, yes, for sure. Nicholas Duran, what's up, Big Rich? Jerry, I was wondering, how do you heat the water? Oh, we already answered that. How did I get back so far? Chris O said he made a statement about how good and how much work you guys did. Nice. Bill Lynch says that, Rich, I wish I lived closer to all those projects would have been done already. Well, thank you for that. Ryan, I didn't see Josh at all, and I'm at the end of it now. Ryan Thompson says, we brought our soft-shell turtle there over the summer, and we just wanted to see how she's doing. Well, there was so many turtles brought here. We don't know which one's yours. Was it named? Did you know, let us know, and we'll tell you where it went. Pete Walter says, you look like Fred Sanford grabbing your chest. Here I come, Elizabeth. It's the big one. You remember that? That's how he was, too. It's just, this rib hurts so much. It hurts me to live I went to open the sliding door. I'm like, oh, shit. I had to open the door with my left hand, you know, and put my right hand down. Oh, we are on top chat. You are right. Live chat. There we go. Okay. Let me go back up. All right.
You jumped way ahead or something.
No, I'm right here. Right where I left off.
That's where you went to Fred. Okay. But you jumped all over. I mean, when Josh came on and said hello to everybody, it was all. I missed all that.
Well, Ashley figured it out. It's on top comments, not live comments. So I changed that. Thank you.
Oh, Whip's World. Oh.
That's on you. Go ahead.
Okay, it's $5. Thank you much. Says, hey, Big Rich, how are you, my friend? I hope you can still say the good times are outweighing the bad.
Oh, for sure, for sure, for sure. Here I am here. All right. Sean H says, Richie should make another channel of him taking care of the properties. And, you know, if okay, he's so busy all the time because he's got to pick up supplies, drop them off to this property, have these guys working. He's got like a crew of 6 working for him. You know, so I mean, he's got to do all this stuff and the main stuff, and then come back and then do the work that they didn't do. You know, so I mean, it's crazy, but he's trying. Oh, Josh says turtle was home to an 800-gallon pond. Thanks, Josh. Sean's everything and anything video. Why no turtles in the pool pond? Because our catfish go after them, and the ones they didn't go after them, you know, went behind the side. I forget the name of that stuff. The fake background and got stuck behind there. So Shauna says Richie is big on not being on camera for sure. Whoops World, thank you for okay. Fish family link. Okay, Lauren says, what's the crown and 75 XP in the top chat? I don't know what any of that is. Tyler, you're funny. Stu Stickland says, evening everybody, but great to see Josh on the mend. Yeah, he's going through it and it's getting better, but because they had to do surgery on both legs, you know, he's got an extra elongated time of no weight on them, no weight bearing. So he can't really, you know, normal person, after 6 weeks, you can start walking on your legs, you know. Now it's been 6 weeks, I think, and now he said another 4 weeks. So, you know, Josh is just going through hell, and not to mention he's not able to do the things he wants to do around his own house, let alone here, let alone, you know, his job. So I mean, it's all aggravating for Josh. I know that. Garcia Aquatic says hello, Big Rich and Jerry, and everybody in chat. Shauna helped me. Thank you. It's Universal Rock. They're the one that donated that background. Thank you so much, Shauna. JP Jeffrey says, hi, Josh, sending you Reiki energy, swift healing, buddy. Bill Lynch says, I like the Pacu in that tank better than the one you were planning to put them in. Can the baby arapaima go in with the Pacus? Here's the thing. That tank, you guys don't understand. We had intentions. We built these tanks for certain intentions. We have a divider in there. Now, with the divider in there, the Pacu ain't really good in there. Even without the divider, the Pacu ain't really good. That tank's only 4 foot wide. Okay, so they have to go to the end and they have to turn around. They're 3 foot long in a 4 foot round tank. They don't have room to swim in a big circle and come back. You know, they have to like shuffle and come back. The other tank that's 1,000 gallons more is 7 foot wide and 17 foot long. It may be a half a foot shorter, but it's the better tank for them. That's the whole Pacu tank, you know. Okay, it is. James McNally says, how's Tracy doing? It is time for the Tracy update. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. All right, so this week here, other than, you know, my broken rib, and it's hard to change her. It's hard to take care of her, hard to prop her up, you know, hard to move her up because, you know, when you got the bed propped up on the end, let me say this like here. You've got the bed is flat, and then you got the end built up. She tends to slide down that, you know. So then you got to put the bed flat and pull her back up. It kills me to pull towards me with this thing. You know, it's horrible. So, you know, it's a lot harder for me to take care of her with this broke rib, but she has been so much more aware this week. It's been crazy. She, you know, I start messing with her, and even without talking to her, it used to be before I talked to her and she'd turn and look towards me. Now I just start messing with her. If I mess with her on this side, she's turning and looking at me. I'm like, oh, hi, honey. I see you looking at me, you know, and she's just so adorable. And I keep telling her things, and I don't know what she's already retained. I don't know if she's heard anything I've said, or just, you know, is it a bunch of noise coming from, you know, a certain side? I don't know. So I just keep telling the same things over and over again, you know. When I realize she's aware and she's staring at me, I tell her how she's got a granddaughter now, and now a second granddaughter, and then a grandson. And, you know, they're all waiting to meet you and all this. And she just keeps staring at me and watching me intently. I mean, she's like honed in on me. She's so much more alert. It's been great. You know, I've been loving it. I keep telling her I miss her and I can't wait for her to come back and this and that. You know, so she's been doing great this week. Although this week the main nurse took off, so we've had a fill-in nurse. So I've had to work with her a lot. You know, you got to do this. You got to do that. Don't do this, you know. At 3 o'clock, you got to do this. At 8 o'clock, you got to do this. So, I'm sorry. I have to yawn. Oh, that hurts. So you know, she's getting so much more alert that I'm just loving life, and it's easier to take care of. And then when I'm trying to change her, I talk to her and tell her to work with me. Don't fight me. You know, like spreading her legs or putting her legs down or I have to lift this leg, you know, don't fight me, you know, please help, I'm hurting here. And she actually has. I'm like, okay, you know, you got to spread a little more. And she's been working with me and helping me change her and take care of her. It's so nice. So, you know, I love that. I tell her every day, I can't wait for you to come back and start talking to me. Even if that's the last step we can get to, if you can just start communicating with me, I can make your life 100% better, 100% more comfortable. You know, if you can talk a little bit or blink with your eyes, we can have a communication. You know, you can tell me when you're a little bit wet or whatever, and I can change it then instead of waiting for me to feel and poke and prod and check, you know, that kind of stuff. So, I don't know. she's doing good. Whips World says, "What's the deal with you and Reaper's ribs? Is there something in the water that makes your bones soft?" No, bro. I fell hard. I was carrying a 15-inch pot with a huge elephant ear, and I can't see nothing. And I tripped, and by the time I fell, because I didn't want to break the plant, I didn't want to throw it and save myself. So I took the plant aside, and I fell, and I jabbed right into right this way a big rock on the edge of the pool. I mean, it hurt. So. You know, I don't know. Things happen. Shit happens, you know. I'm surprised you ain't falling as much. You're like 6 foot 33 inches. He's tall. Ow, ow, ow. I did not laugh. Son of a bitch. But anyways, tomorrow we get our regular day nurse back. So things will get better as tomorrow, and then Monday we get our main nurse back, and she gets back to having taken out of bed every day and put in her chair, you know, because the new nurse wasn't doing that because she don't know anything going on, and you know, we're just teaching her how to do things. I don't know. So you know, it's just things are getting better. It's getting better as time goes on. It's just, you know, you forget when you got a broken rib, you forget, right? And okay, the first 3 days were bad, but today, and after I got up, because that hurts, you know, you're laying on your side of your back or your belly, and you go to get up, you're putting different weight on different ribs, and it hurts like hell to get out of bed. And then once you're walking around, as long as you don't use this arm, this ribs, it really don't hurt no more until you go to use that arm or cough or laugh. You know, that's the thing. And Jerry makes me laugh all the time. So yeah, that kind of hurts, you know. But other than that, let's get back to the Tracy thing. She's doing real well. Other than that, she's you know, let me see what else. What else is new with her? I wish her family would have came in and helped me. It's been 5 years of me going without sleep and helping. I wished her family weren't such. I'm not even going to say it. Just I wish they were better people and would have came and helped. You know, my kids are doing all they can, even though it looks like they're not helping. They are doing all they can to help. They're covering other things that I had to do, so that I can be here and take care of their mother. You know what I'm saying? So don't think that they are both helping very very much. My third kid is down in Cincinnati and can't really help that much, but you know, he still cares. He's still there. You know, he's got his own family and this and that. But you know, Tracy's still well taken care of. I can still say to this day, it's been 4.5 years she's been home. She's never once had a bed sore here. So that's my claim to fame. We take better care of her than trained nurses do in a nursing home. You know what I'm saying? She was in 3 different nursing homes, and all 3 nursing homes she had problems with. So she's good here. I just can't wait for. I miss her so much. I can't wait for her to wake up. I can't wait for her to even just be able to communicate a little bit. You know, I can make her life 100% better as soon as she can communicate. You know, because wouldn't you like to be, instead of, oh, you're on a schedule, you eat 7 o'clock, you eat 11 o'clock, you eat 3 o'clock, and then you eat nothing until the next day because this is the doctor's orders. You get these 3 feedings. That's it. And she's maintained her weight, so she's on a good feeding schedule. She's not gaining weight. She's not losing weight. She's maintaining now. And then we got the syrup, which is nothing but sheer protein that we have to add in because she was, when she came home from the nursing home, she was skin and bones. She was floppy skin. Little Tracy, she was a skinny bone and then floppy skin under it. There was nothing. I mean, she was so in a out. Her skin was too large for her body frame. It was. She looked like a ghost. It was scary. And then once she started taking this protein stuff, she filled back out. Now her arm's normal size, and you can feel meat in there. And you know, she looks normal. It looks like Tracy just laid down. It don't look like a ghost or a skeleton. You know, she was scary looking back then. So yeah, screw nursing homes. She's doing so much better here. Matt says, "Hey Tracy, appreciate you. One day she'll tell you." Oh, that'll be. I'd love that, just to have her be able to talk. So, anyways, the next thing, we've got Beatrice here tonight. She's taking care of Tracy from 3 o'clock until 11 o'clock, and then I got my night nurse. So I'm going to get a second night of sleep tonight, which is going to be great because Jerry said he noticed a big difference for me yesterday after 54 hours of no sleep, and then today he goes, I'm like, what? There's a a pip in my step. You know what? What? And he's like, you just happier. You just calmer. You're smiling now. And I'm like, yeah, I was dead yesterday. I was dead to the world. It was horrible. I couldn't even think right. I'm like, hang on, I got to repeat what you said in my mind. What? Okay, I couldn't even think straight.
Yesterday we just leave you alone and do what you got to do, and there's no problem with it.
I told Jerry this morning, doing 54 or let me think about that. 2 16-hour shifts is 32. Her 8-hour shift, that makes it 40. And then I had to do the 8-hour shift the next day plus my 8-hour shift. So that was another 16 on top of 4. That's 56 hours. Okay. That's what I had to do. So now that I slept like 8 hours last night. That was crazy. I've not slept that long in so long. It's crazy. I woke up and I'm just like, hey, the world's great. Oh yeah, I gotta change my wife. I gotta take care of the fish room. But I woke up with a great, I just felt world's great, and Jerry definitely noticed it. So with Tracy, I wish that I can see a big step forward, but we have to keep taking these little, I call them little baby steps forward in the right direction. And she's not plateaued, although it seems like it. She's not plateaued because just the other day she did this thing where we've never heard her do it before, and she went, okay. Normally she coughs, right? But after the cough, she went. I'm like, Tracy, what the hell was that? I'm talking to her. I've never seen her do that before. And then the other day, she moved her arm more, which, she'd never moved her arms. She moved her legs. She started with her feet, then she, went up to her knees, her ankles, her knees, and then, her whole leg was moving. She was lifting it up like she was working out. And then, she started moving her head left and right, and then her shoulders, because she does this a lot now. And now finally her arms are starting to, she's moving. Like I put it down here, and this was like a month ago. And then, after I put it down there and I'm taking care of her and I'm putting on her trach and stuff, she moved her arm up to here. I guess that was more comfortable for her. I'm like, honey, did you just move your arm? And I put it back down to where I wanted it, and she moved it back up. So I left it there. I'm like, great. So she's starting to move. And then we didn't see no movement for like 2 weeks. And then recently, in the last, 3 or 4 days, she moved her arm again. So she's starting to move her arm more. So that's a whole new development, So, them are my baby steps in the right direction, because next from moving her arm will be her wrist or her fingers, which she still don't do. Now she moves them when she coughs, like she'll put her arm straight out. Oh, shit. She'll put her arms straight out, both of them, and cough and stuff like that. So she has the ability to move them. It's just moving on her own without a reaction from her body, like a cough is a reaction that you can't say she's moving, because no, that's a definite reaction, So she's doing good. She's doing good. Reading some of you guys' comments. Tyler Chris says, hell yeah, it's Tracy, amazing work. Keep up the great work. Dude, she's just so sweet and innocent, And then, I think back in the last, 20 years, she was such a sweetheart. She's just such a good person. I miss her. So, but anyways, do this. So that's our Tracy update. I hope you guys like it. I wish I could tell you more. Like, she sat up yesterday and started talking to me. I wish with nothing else in my life, I'll give up the rest of my life just to have her say that, I wish for that. But, when she does wake up, when she does get more aware, we're going to have to teach her how to talk and walk and everything back over again. I'm ready for that. It's okay. I just want her to have a better lifestyle than she has now, because who wants to lay in bed for 4.5 years and, having other people change you and this and that, I would love for her to start, oh my goodness, for sure. I would love that. She would be able to tell me when she's hungry or she wants a snack, because now I give her, like, I'll take peanut butter because, with her trach, she don't breathe through her mouth. So her mouth is never used for feeding her. She's got a feeding peg in her belly and she's got the trach for breathing, right? So we put a trach mask over and we feed her trach with moist air from a humidifier so that she don't get dryness and get, what are they called, mucus plugs in her lungs, which she could die from, basically. So cuts off certain sections of her lungs. Ouch. Ow. So with that, her mouth never really, all she gets is toothpaste every day where we brush her teeth and clean her. So, every once in a while, I'll take some peanut butter, put on my finger, and I'll stick my finger in her mouth. And she'll be just like, and you can just hear her going, oh my God, that's so good. Or I'll take some Nutella and put in her mouth, and let her just, she just goes to town on that. So I love giving her little joys like that. James McNally says, who's taking care of Big Rich's mental health? Well, we need a whole stream of people doing that. And there's nobody, unfortunately. Kyle Hines says, what's up, fellas? I know how far I made it on Friday. How'd Josh like the new tank with the fish in it? Oh, he really liked it. That's, of course. That's. Tyler Kerr says, Jerry looks like he used to ride motorcycles and retired. He's got the cap, the jacket, the look, the beard. Did you ever ride motorcycles back in the day?
A few.
As a matter of fact, when I got my new Harley and I rode around the block, Jerry come out there. He's like, dude, I want so bad to jump on my old hog and follow you guys around the block. He missed it for sure.
I was born and raised with it, so.
Matt LeMay says, checked out and concussion. I have multiple TBI already, so it's messed me up. Today I'm more with it, but still dizzy and fatigued. Okay, that had to be a side talk that was already going on. But we're caught up. Okay, so now we can go ahead and talk. Now, we got, what we did. Now, it's on our next video. Last night it got down to 36 degrees, 38, something like that.
It was 37 by the time I got up this morning, so I don't know how full it got.
So probably 36 it got down to last night. We had to move in all the plants as a rush thing yesterday or day before yesterday. And that's why we were carrying all them big plants in. And all the elephant ears that we put together outside in the pond had outgrown their pot, and the plants, the roots came out the bottom of the pot and were sticking to the pond. So we had a hard time. We got them all in, and that's when I fell and stuff like that. So that was the day before yesterday. It feels like a week to me of pain. So
it was just yesterday.
It wasn't yesterday.
No, it was day before yesterday.
Day before, because
yep.
Tyler, what was his name?
They joined together.
The community service guy showed up and helped out.
Yeah.
So we got all that moved in, and now our pool room. You remember we cleared out where the dog bone was, and then we cleared out where the pacu were, and we moved the pool into the fish room on top the 4,000 gallon tank where the new pacu were going to go, or the new pacu tank. And now we got all this room, and we brought these plants in, and we don't have a lick of room. We don't have no room. We're walking, rubbing the fish tanks over here, and the plants, we're still walking over leaves and stuff. Them elephant ears grew so big this summer. So now, hopefully, because a lot of the leaves are going to die off, being into less sunlight and stuff, we're going to cut all them off and cut everyone back and we're going to set up the plants against the pool and that kind of stuff, and we'll have a walkway back. But hopefully next year we don't have to start with bulbs. We can start with, say, a 4-foot plant, and
one elephant ear's got 3 flowers on it right now.
yeah, and he's about 8 foot wide too.
Yeah,
3-foot plants. Yeah, that's crazy.
Just not a long enough season for him.
Oh. Oh.
Bob Taylor says smoked ribs are best. Puff, puff, puff. I'm with you, Bob. Ribs.
Okay, that's what that means. I saw cloud. Shit out.
No, blow cloud.
So yeah, that's going to be Monday's video, because Josh took over today's video and did that one. And then Monday I'm going to show you all the plants being moved in and all. Oh my God, it looks so barren on the back deck. It's so barren back there. There's like no plant, no foliage, no nothing. You see the deck, the wood drop off, and then you see, you know, the river, and there's no plants, you know, other than the plants that are still there that'll last all winter and come back next summer.
That's not fair, Suet and depth charge. They're keying up. They got 2 cones in there. Suet hits puff puff, and then depth charge goes ribs, drinking smoke.
Yeah. Jim says moving the plants in and out is a big job. Oh my God, it took us all day long. And then not to mention the wet part, we have to get down in the river, and then you can't pick them up. You have to rip them out, bend into the plant sideways because they're down into the pond and into all the gravel. So we had to rip them out of it. They were crazy. Oh, Shauna says elephant ear flowers, they aren't very strong smelling, but they're very sweet smelling.
I haven't checked.
Got to check that now.
I want to do that now when I go back out there. Thank you.
Barb Hutt says you should add a small greenhouse to put a man for the winter. You know what? I would love to take from our deck, right, where the deck roof ends, and greenhouse it over to the end of the pond to where that pond stays warm all winter long. And we never have to move plants. They may not grow as good in the winter, being colder. It'll probably be like, 50 degrees in there. But imagine all the moisture we get from blowing out the hot, moist air from that vent from the pool into this area. Oh, yeah, it'd be terrible.
Are used for that air rather than still going to have ice on the inside of that angle.
Tyler Kurt says, are there other plants you can grow out of a fish tank besides pothos? Yeah.
Yeah,
we put our elephant ears in the river every summer. We never have to water them. We can also do what's the ones that look like elephant ears but they have slices in them?
Oh, arrowheads.
Well, arrowheads will work too.
Yeah, philodendrons.
No, the one in the middle of the
Monstera.
Monstera. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
So elephant ear, Monstera, arrowheads,
spider plants
for sure.
The one that they used to call Wandering Jew.
Wandering Jew does it too.
Excuse my politically correct.
And bamboo. Bamboo does fish tanks too.
Yeah, but it doesn't use much nitrates.
And peace lilies. Yes, Marie Dean, peace lilies.
Definitely.
Our peace lilies are buried in our pond, our pool pond.
There's some other marginals that you can.
There's more, but these are the main ones right now that grow good.
That kind of salmon colored lily. That thing loves the water.
I went up to the Shed Aquarium and they have a ficus tree.
Yeah.
In the water.
Yeah, as long as, but the roots of the ficus will demolish everything.
Yeah.
So you got.
But this thing was like 4 foot around trunk, and it went up like 40 feet towards the light, and it was the main thing in the middle of the Shed Aquarium.
Well, they become the foundation of the building, basically. Yeah. They attach themselves and structure. I love those pictures of the temples with them growing all over them. That's neat. I've seen strawberries Go on the top of aquariums. That wet
Really?
soil. Yeah. There's soil that drains real good. You know, basically kind of like a sand film.
Harley Jim comes up with a thing. Anything that like swamps can grow out of a swamp can grow out of water. That makes sense.
Yeah, some do better with root structure.
G. Jarwez says, "Hi, Rich and Jerry. You guys are great. How do you guys know each other?" Well, you know,
That's going to be a weekly
back in the
story
day,
or what?
he knew my mother, and I don't know how they knew each other.
Ooh.
Oh. You guys stop making me laugh. Okay, you guys too. Stop.
You did
What?
that yourself. It wasn't me. Making cracks about me and his daddy.
Mother, not dad.
You know, if I met your mother, it's possible.
Ah. Mandy Davis says, "Rich and Jerry, you're awesome. Always, you both make me laugh all the time." Well, thank you for that. We try. Try and be as entertaining as possible, Yeah, well, Dan says, "Are you going to put the goonch in the monster pond?" Yes, we are eventually. He's over 3 foot now, so we're getting close to it. Within the next year, he'll go in there. But, he's more of a nighttime predator. So we need to get him used to eating during the daytime when we feed, type thing. We don't want him in there at night and just going and attacking other fish while we're sleeping,
Oh, there's a lot of other nocturnal predators in there.
Lorenz Corthot says, "Is Bigfoot Loverboy still alive? Are you talking about Willstar? I don't see where you're getting Loverboy from that, but Bigfoot, yes, that's Willstar." Whoops World says, "Isn't there a goonch in there already?"
No, it's the jowl.
The jow cat is in there, yes. We got 2 albino goonches and 1 big goonch not in the pond yet.
The big goonch is almost ready.
Almost ready this year.
It can wait for Josh. It ain't hurting nothing. It ain't going nowhere.
No.
He's eating good and he's eating in the daylight.
And you know what? When you have a fish that's growing good and doing good, you don't want to mess with them. Because when you change them to another situation, another tank with a different whole atmosphere, they don't eat for months, So James McNally says, "How many koi do you have in the back pond behind Tracy's butterfly koi?" Ooh, we don't even know.
I have no idea.
One time there was 300. We took 150 out. We donated some. We sold some.
I know of about 160 that were removed from there.
160, not 150. Okay, so 160. That's when we had the Bobcat back there with the 300-gallon tub. Yeah, we took 160 out. That would leave 260. So that'd be 100, and then 40 would be 30. So 104, maybe 150 left in there.
No,
But
there's been the odd here and there. It's impossible to say
we've
because
taken out a couple here and there.
when you get down to where you can walk on the mud and the fish are still below you.
They do. They go into the mud. So it's hard.
Yeah, you can't. There's nothing you can do about it. The pond would have to be mucked out. Would have to be drained from the bottom up.
Yeah. Harley Gem says, "I think over 200 koi." Now you're a little off there, Harley.
No.
It's about 140, somewhere around there that we left in there. But remember, that's the back pond where, Jerry's out here and watching Tracy's pond. But back there, it's open to muskrats, raccoons, birds, stuff like that.
I have never seen a coyote, but I have seen coyotes scat out there.
Have you?
Yeah.
So
there's coyotes out there too. And that's not accounting for the 2-legged animals. We had
someone else said,
a couple of times had to chase out kids with nets.
yeah. Somebody said, "How's Jerry and Rich doing?" And Lorenz Corda goes, "Well, Jerry's up to about 4 foot and Big Rich is up to 6 foot."
Oh, come on.
He's at least 4'1", guys. Come on. How tall are you, Jerry?
5'11".
You're 5'11". So if I stand up and I'm 6'1", I'm only 3 inches taller than you.
Yeah, you're about a couple inches taller.
Yeah, no, I'm at least 8 inches taller than you.
Well, if I stand up straight, I'm almost with my boots on and I'm standing up straight. I'm 6 foot.
Well, then I can wear boots too, and I'm 7 foot. What the hell?
Kiss my ass.
He said, "Kiss my ass."
That's not the point.
Let the old man remember his glory days. Okay, he's 6 foot almost. That's one down. Ow.
Yeah, that's the problem. Harley's got it. Joey Hunch is 6 inches shorter.
Yeah, you do walk with a little bit of a
There's
forward.
nothing I can do about it. It's hereditary.
Jerry's boots are apple crates. Your boots are a foot tall. Ow, ow, come on. Oh. All right, my second drink. Ribs, everybody. You know what's the worst thing? I'm a belly sleeper because for all these years Tracy's been here, if I'm on my back, I can't see the monitors or nothing like that. I've got a monitor on Tracy. I've got a monitor on, the wireless cams on a 40-inch screen at the head of my headboard. And then I have a monitor over here of the 14 cameras, right? So if I'm on my elbows, I can see my phone. I can watch movies, watch videos. I can see Tracy on the 14-inch screen. And then on the 40-inch screen, I can see all the wireless cameras. And then if I look left, I can see all the wired cameras. So I've basically taught myself to sleep on my belly. And, so, I mean, it's been hard because I put 2 pillows there and I put my chest down on the pillows because if you're sleeping on your belly or you're laying on your belly, it's hard to be there on your elbows because your elbows, go into the mattress and then your arms, your fingers go dead. You can't really move them. You can't feel, you got to get off your elbows. So I put the 2 pillows there. And then I fall asleep like this, ouch, on my head sideways. And, I don't really snore laying on my belly. But if I laid on my back, I'd snore like a damn bear, So I sleep on my belly. So it's hard for my rib in this situation. I can lay down and it hurts me at first and then it mellows out. And then I'm good. Unless I want to turn or get up. Then it's so painful. It's so painful because my rib moves on me, So, I don't know. Nine knockos, how many cameras is that? I don't know, 14 plus 6. So we're talking 20 plus Tracy's dedicated camera, 21. There's 21 cameras here.
Enough.
Lorenz says, whoa, mine is 17 inches and I'm proud of it. More like about 6 inches, okay? Men lie about their size. Lorenz. Mandy Davis says, I'll say good night, Rich, Jerry. Up early fishing in the morning. Oh, have a good time, Mandy. Have a great time. Phil Lynch says, Jerry's boots have goldfish in the heels. Oh. You ever been at the stripping joint?
I was hoping you already went past.
Shit. Oh, no. That's I envisioned it.
Keep him coming. He deserves to hurt.
Oh, shit. No, when he said that, I envisioned it. You in a bikini and thong with 6-inch high heels with a goldfish in it.
Sounds like something I could be wearing a disco outfit.
Right. Ow. Oh, that was hilarious. I wish I could laugh more. James McNally says, ribs, there you go, guys. Sue Ann, you were coinciding a thing to come up here again. When is that going to be? There was you, Deb Charge, We had Maritza.
Oh, they were planning on hitting you at the same time.
They were all coming up the same weekend. Yeah.
That's an invasion.
Dude, no, that's a great time right there. No, you don't understand. Remember how much we laughed with Maritza and Andy here? And now imagine Sue Ann and Steve here. Oh my God, it would just be a blast the whole
Well, you
weekend.
know, one of the problems of trying to put together that moderators appreciation picnic is trying to organize the damn thing. Maybe
I
we
know.
should let them organize it.
You know what? That ain't a bad choice at all. And then we're like locked in what we have to do.
Yeah, get Brother John to cook another pig or add something else.
Devin Sparks says, I thought Tracy passed away. No disrespect. No, absolutely not. She's in there right now.
Well, she didn't.
Huh?
Well, she passed.
Well, she passed.
Yeah.
And she got brought back, but with the lack of oxygen, I did CPR on her for 8 minutes until the medics got here. And because it was on the bed, I didn't know no difference. They don't teach that, put her on the bed, put her on the floor. It wasn't as effective as it would have been if I had her on the floor.
Yeah, well.
So when the medics got here, they put her on that machine and they got her back. She had already suffered, lack of oxygen to the brain. So now she's got anoxic brain injury after dying. So, she's in there. She's in there trying. I mean, I did what I do. I did everything I could. She's in there. She's coming back. That's all there is to it. She's coming back.
She's in there rewiring things.
Oh.
The fish have noses. Yes, they do.
I'm sorry. I can't talk about that. Oh, shit. I can't see nothing.
Oh, I should have seen that coming.
What?
Marie Dean says they're just barbecued ribs.
It's to your ribs. See, 9 and Out says, I did CPR. I put her on the bathroom floor at 9/11 and instructed me how to do it. Let me tell you my 9/11 call, okay? I'm in the shower because they finally let Tracy come into the hospital. They sent her home, said she only had, we both had COVID before COVID was known. I've never been sick like this where I had no energy. I'm crawling to the bathroom. So to take Tracy to the bathroom, I had to help her. She was weaker than me. I'd get her to the bathroom. I'd get her in there. I'd close the door. I'd stand outside the bathroom, wait for her to come out. She's in there. She's going to the bathroom. Then she's puking. And she comes out of the bathroom and lethargic as hell. She'd go, I puked my damn brains out. I'm like, okay, honey, it's okay. Let me get you back to bed. And I'd put her back to bed. And, she's laying in there. And then, I'm calling the hospital. You can't, because I told them, you can't release her to me. She is like a puppy with parvo. If I pick her up, she's shitting her pants. She is that weak, You got to take, and they said, no, she's got an upper respiratory infection. Here's 2 prescriptions. Take her home. So for 3 days, I called and called and called and called. She's getting worse. She's getting worse, blah, blah, blah. And then they said, finally, when I told them that she coughed and there was like spots of like blackness on her hand, she goes, she's internally bleeding. Bring her in now. So I wake Tracy up and I tell her, honey, we got to go to the hospital. Okay. They're going to give you a bed there. You can go into the hospital. Let's go. And she goes, I want to shower before I go anywhere. So stubborn as she is, I picked her up. I walked her to the shower because I was feeling better at this point. I was already getting better. I take her in the shower. She's got a shower chair. She sits on her chair, and I take the nozzle and I wash her off and I clean her off and I get her all done. And I go to put the shower. Fuck. I go to put the shower thing back on its rack, and she leaned against my back and just let out the longest exhale I've ever heard in my life. And I'm like, what the hell? And I turn around and she's not breathing. She's not got no nothing. I put my ear up to her mouth, nothing. So I bear hugged her. I take her out of the shower. I lay her down in the bed. I call 911 and I'm like, my wife's dying. you know, and, you know, send people. And she goes, sir, are you a certified CPR technician? Because I put her on speakerphone, I threw it down, and I'm doing CPR now. I learned CPR on South Park. No, I'm not a CPR technician. And she goes, sir, leave that go until the medics arrive. And I'm like, fuck you, my wife's dying. And I'm pressing hard. I'm giving her, you know, 30 compresses and then 2 breaths. The point was she had puked all that blood that she had been bleeding out into her stomach. And it was like a blackness. It was like coffee grounds, you know, ground up. So I got this black shit all over my mustache from holding her nose and blowing air into her, and then going back to doing the 30 compressions. I didn't know that my compressions weren't that effective. It would have been better if she was on the floor. I didn't know this. I didn't know, you know. So fucking when the medics get there, fuck.
Take a break, brother. There's plenty of videos they can watch. If you want, I'm sure one of the mods would be happy to point them at one. It's not the first time this.
So when the medics get there, I see him pulling my driveway because I got all the cameras, and I bear hug her. Now at this point, I gave her 30 breaths, and I ran over, grabbed a t-shirt, put a t-shirt on her. Or 30 compressions. I gave her 2 breaths. I run over and get a t-shirt. Then I ran over and I grabbed her a pair of shorts because she was naked out of the shower. So I'm doing these compressions. I'm doing this. I'm getting her dressed. I'm doing all this, bawling, 100% bawling at the same time. And this bitch on 911, you know, 911 is like, sir, you are not a certified CPR technician. Stop what you're doing. I'm like, fuck you. My wife's dying, and I'm fucking crying, and it was horrible. She should have been like, sir, at least give her 30 compressions, you know, give her 2 mouths of breath. And then make sure you're on a hard substance, you know, on a floor or something, not a bed. That would have helped. This stupid bitch fucking said nothing and told me to stop doing it. I was like, what the hell? I don't understand it at all. But the medic showed up. I come carrying her. You know, she's lifeless in my hands, and I'm holding her, and I'm walking through there. They're like, put her down here. And they put this machine on her. And this thing said, Jojo. I'm like, oh my God, you're going to kill her. And they're like, yeah, we break ribs all the time. Like it was nothing, you know? And I'm like, oh my God. And she got a heartbeat back, you know, and they got a heartbeat back. And I was like, you know, I'm covered in this black shit all over my mouth. I'm bawling, I'm crying, I'm thanking them. Like, thank you so much for bringing her back, you know? And it was a horrible situation I went through. I wish I'd have known better because maybe she wouldn't have got the anoxic brain injury if I'd have done the CPR on the floor instead of the bed. I don't know. But, you know, the 911 operator should have known better. You stupid bitch. You know, tell me what to do. Let me help her. Help me help her. You know, I'm dying over here. It was horrible. And she told me to leave her go until they get there. You know, fuck her. You know, if I'd have done more damage, then I'd really feel bad now. I feel bad now because I didn't know. Everybody should go take a CPR class and know these things. Everybody, it's you know, it's a simple thing. You know, learn this shit. Because I may have made a difference if I'd have known. Fuck. If you can make a difference in life, then you're making a difference. You're a good person, you know. And people ask why I do this. It's because I feel so guilty. I couldn't help her. I tried so hard. I, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have opened up that part of my life. I still feel so guilty that I couldn't save her. I tried so hard. If 911 would have helped me, you know.
You know, my ex-wife was a 911 operator, and she was required to be certified in CPR, and she was trained in being able to, over the phone, tell somebody else how to do it.
That would have been
The
so
guide them
helpful.
through it. This was requirements for the job.
I don't understand because I'm doing what I think is best for
Yeah.
her, and this lady's telling me to stop because I'm not a qualified CPR technician. Fuck you, bitch! My
Yeah,
wife's
no,
dying. You know,
She had no business on the other end of the line.
she had no business there. If there was somebody there that knew what they were doing and said, you know, take her off the bed, put her on the floor, maybe it would have been better. You know. But she had puked out so much blood. She was so anemic. By the time we got her to the hospital, they had to give her 3 pints the first day and 2 pints the second day. And she's only 100 pounds. She was less than over half of the blood she needed in her body.
John Ellis is
from
the
her
best
puking
line. You did do something. They would not have been able to bring her back if you didn't do what you did.
I mean, I guess, yeah.
Okay, well, you're second guessing it, and that's where the pain's coming from. You did the best you could with the tools you had to work with, brother. You can't beat that. Anytime I can walk away from a situation and say I did the best I could with the tools I had to work with, there's no failure involved.
I feel like such a failure. I could have helped her more.
Nah, you
God
didn't.
damn it.
You couldn't have. You did the best you could. There it goes again. Somebody said Jerry's right. Thanks, Matt.
All right, whoever asked that
That's all
question,
right, man.
thanks a
It's
lot,
just
bro.
mileage. You learn
God
that
damn it.
shit. You know? It takes a catastrophe like that to learn it. That's the problem.
Oh, shit. Let me go back. Okay, we're back to here. All right.
That's the black stuff.
Shauna's that's throwing up the black stuff saved her. The same thing happened to my mom. Savannah says you did everything you could, Rich. You are the reason she's still here. Thank you. Lauren says, Marie, I got a bottle of LA Shaw for you, 8%. I don't know what that is. Side combo. Craig's catfish guy says, send in love, Rich. Marie Dean said it was horrific. I'm so sorry you and Tracy went through that. You did the best you could, and you did make a difference. I'd like to believe that. Bill Lynch says, Rich, how about a live stream on proper CPR and Tracy's honor? We could do that, Bill. Thank you. That'll be great. I should do that. Lee says, you know the best you could, big man. Everyone knows that you love. Everyone knows that. Love you, Rich. Hashtag Team Tracy. James McNally says, you can't blame yourself, big man, or big Rich. You did your best, and that's all anyone can ask for. You're a saint to me, Big Rich. Oh, thank you, but Craig's Catfish Cafe says it's not your fault. You've done more than many would, bro. You're amazing. Don't get yourself down. Tyler says it's not your fault, Rich. You are a great, amazing person. You did what you could. You did help her. You just don't know it. You still doing amazing. We love you. Oh, thank you, Tyler. Thank you. Heaven says sometimes you don't get a decent operator. You just have to hope you do. Yeah, that was some bullshit. I had to argue with her. Tell me what I can do to help her, Fucking she wouldn't tell me. Joanna Nell says you did something, Rich. They would have brought her back. They wouldn't have brought her back if you didn't start CPR. Yeah. Oh. Good jumped again.
Super chats.
Hang on. Okay, here we are. Shauna, sounds like Shauna says, she said the smartest thing of the night. Ribs, let's drink. Jenny is housebound and bored, says, sending you all my love, Rich. You can't change the past and you can't predict the future. You must give yourself grace. Giving yourself that grace will help you heal. You give her your whole heart. I do. I try. Camel Dad says, Jerry, you're a wise man. Matt LeMay says, she's here because you saved her. I wish I could believe that. Ross Dingle said, they should have talked you through it on the phone. Like, yeah, like landing a plane. I'm not a plane, but you know, they will talk you through landing the plane.
And yeah,
That's what they should have done. I'm so pissed at 911.
those 911 operators, if they aren't already, they should be required to be trained to talk somebody through it.
All right. I can't. Oh, Maritza says, you can't second guess the past. You know you did what you could, and if it wasn't for you, she wouldn't be taken care of as great as you take care of her today.
Okay, Sue
I
Ann
believe
answered
that.
your question here.
What's that?
Send a $5 super chat.
Thank you, Sue Ann.
Said they'll be here on 11/7, November 7th.
November 7th?
Save the date.
Well, that gives me less than a month to get ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. That's too soon. You guys are gonna be here. I gotta have Tracy awake by the time you get here. I gotta have the house clean. I gotta have 2 rooms that have bathrooms in it because they're gonna fight over the room.
Well, it depends on what, we don't know who else is coming yet, Sue Ann, so she says who else is coming.
Well, if you set me a date now I can plan something and make it something special.
Well, the catfish cave is way behind. He's asking for the drinking word.
The drinking word is ribs today because I broke my rib.
Ribs.
Hayden G says, we love you, Big Rich. You are a great man. You need to forgive yourself of the past and know that Tracy loves you. I know she loves me. And you love her. We know you, Big Rich. Stay strong, big guy. Thank you so much. Well, there's no doubt in my mind. I know she loves me. She put up with me treating her like shit over the whole divorce thing for years, And you only do that for somebody you want to be with. I mean, she put up with shit. I was calling her names and treating her like shit and telling her you could never get with me and blah, blah, blah. And she put up with it. And she stayed here and she treated me great for the last 20 years. I was just an asshole, didn't realize it, What's that saying? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I wasn't going to get fooled twice. Screw you. You can treat me as nice as you want. I'll never remarry you. And that's all she wanted was to be remarried to me. She made a mistake. And people say you can't cheat and fix it. She did. She did. I love her to death, and I divorced her. I held my honor, but I also helped her out. She didn't have a place to stay. She ended up homeless. I let her move back in here with certain rules. You can never have a guy here. I don't want my children growing up with Uncle Mike, Uncle Sal, Uncle Jerry, Uncle Dale, Uncle whatever. I don't want that shit.
How'd I get into that?
You're not there. That was just a sorry, bro. Sorry.
Any area will do, right?
So, I just, so she's never allowed to have a man again, basically, if you want to stay here. You stay here and you become a good woman to my children because that's what they deserve, So, and she did that and she went through all that and she went through therapy, like I said, and she did all the requirements I told her to, but I would never forgive her. Even in the last 20 years when she treated me good. We hooked up, quite a few times, but I would never, ever give her my heart again, And after she died and this happened, all I saw was like notebook after notebook of notes that she wrote, she was in therapy, of her therapist, how much she wanted me back, how she loved me, and how, I'm the best guy and she's never going to meet somebody like me again and all this stuff. And all she wanted was to be remarried. So, as far as I'm concerned, forget the past. She made up for it. She gave me 20 years of my life with happiness and goodness and being a good mother to my children. She deserves me to remarry her when she wakes up. That's Period. She deserves that. 100%. And my biggest fear is that I do this for years and take care of her and she wakes up and don't know me, don't remember me, and falls in love with somebody else, moves in with them. Like that one movie, I forget what it was, with I think it was Channing Tatum. Oh, son of a bitch. I can't even breathe in hard. How you doing? A nice name. How you doing? Don't beat yourself up, Rich. I basically lived through the same thing, but I was in a hospital when it happened. Doctors and nurses lost a lot of people thanks to COVID. I'm one of the lucky ones. Well, thank you for that. Tyler says, I love you, Jerry. You are right. I think you're an amazing person. That's why you were meant to be at OFR.
Thanks, Tyler.
Man, that goes back to a lot of meaning right there.
Well, I follow my heart feather. It tells me where I'm supposed to be.
Rusty Shackelford says, hang in there, brother. It takes a big man to do what you're doing. It just takes a caring person. That's all. I've yelled at this staff at their nursing homes. I walk in there and Tracy's covered with blood all over here, all down her throat. She's leaning sideways. She's got a robe half covering her boob, just laying there, one leg out. I'm like, what the hell? This is not my wife. This is not Tracy. She would be mortified if she was this uncovered. Trust me. I know, because I lived with her for 35, 40 years. And if I asked her for a glass of water at nighttime, she would get up from the bed being naked, and she would put a bra, panties, sweatpants, and a t-shirt on to go out and get me water and come back in. I mean, that's the way she was. Oh, fuck. Bill Lynch says, wait till she wakes up and says thank you. Oh, my God. That would be so awesome, Bill. That would be so awesome.
That's me.
Loren says we're up to 150 XP in the top chat. I don't know what that means. Marie Dean, come on now. She says ribs like 30 times. Party on.
And now they're talking about the eating kind, and I'm getting hungry. Uncle Jerry, right?
Deb Chart says we all have an Uncle Jerry.
No.
Tyler says everyone makes mistakes, sometimes both sides. If you are meant to be, you will end up together, and you did because you are meant to be. Thank you, Tyler. No, in the last 20 years, she has been a great woman. She has learned everything that I taught her. I had to teach her about morals and ethics and policing yourself, because she was brought up in a family of 9 kids, and she was the youngest. So she had to lie, sneak, steal to get what she wanted, right? And I didn't understand that. She came on to me and she was sweet and nice. I thought she's going to be a sweet, nice girl. And then here she's, lying, sneaking, stealing, all this bullshit. And, and I taught her, I'm like, you want to come back here, you're going to learn to have morals and ethics. She didn't even know what that was. You're going to have to police yourself, because I can't force you to be a good person. Only you can do that. You have to police yourself. Okay, there's a guy hitting on me here, but I have a man at home. Oh, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to be known as that kind of person. That's policing yourself. You could go and, get laid in the bathroom. And then, what are you? What are you at that point? You gave up almost everything you have to have a little 10 minutes of pleasure in the bathroom, right? That don't make you a good person. It's selfish, and selfishness kills me. So I taught her all this. I'm like, you have to police yourself. You have a set of standards you live by, things you will and won't do. And she learned it, and she did it, and she became such a sweetheart, such a good person. And my kids have completely forgiven her. My kids love her to death. And, it was me that was still stuck on stupid and wouldn't forgive her. All she wanted was to be remarried. And I'm like, oh, hell no. Hell no, you're not putting me through that again, So, oh, shit.
Oh, no. That's where we were.
All right. Lorenz says, if Jerry was my uncle, fill it in, people.
If Jerry was my uncle, what?
I'd be stoned. How about that?
Probably,
I'll
yeah.
fill that in.
Probably.
Nine and out says, what if you married her now? I can't without her consent. Once she's able to say yes or no by blinking her eyes, squeezing hands, whatever, I told her I would remarry her now. You know, she's my heart. Marissa says, everyone will make sure she sees you the same as she did before. She loves you and you will always love her. Of course.
Thank you, Marissa.
Thank you. And Nikki Webster says, The Vow is the movie. Yes, that is a great movie. You guys got to watch that. If you believe in like rom-coms, romantic comedies, anything, he went through hell to have his wife back, and he ended up with her. It was a great movie. I love that movie, but it's so scary still at the same point. She didn't remember him. Ow. CJ says, Rich, not a man on earth would put in the effort you have to help Tracy. Don't beat yourself up. Keep your chin up. You're a special man. Oh, thank you. Matt LeMay says, I don't think that's true, though. There's plenty of people out there that love their mate, you know?
Yeah, I think he couldn't get it.
No, it's a great way to word it. I love that.
There's not a man on earth that would do better.
You know, I grew up from this fact here. No matter how good you do, there's always somebody better. There's always somebody better. There's always somebody out there, you know? Oh, shit. Fuck. So I'm sure there's people out there that would do more, but I mean, I'm doing what I can. Malay says, yup, I second Jerry being meant to be at OFR. Heaven knew Rich needed help and sent the best. Son of a bitch. Michael says, when can I come back and smoke with Jerry? Well, Jerry has a daily smoking routine on the back deck. He can come by anytime.
I think he spreads too much butter on the bread.
Lee Ord says, what's your guys' favorite fish? Mine is tigerfish, but there's so expensive here on the Isle of Wight. Ow, shit. I go to breathe in and it just hurts so bad. My favorite fish, everybody knows, is the arapaima. I just love how powerful, how big, how awesome they are. You know, GATFs are awesome too. They got the big teeth. You know, armadas, amazing. You know, if they get big, you know, it's just hard to grow them that big.
I'm starting to like that Johnny cat. I think I will start doing a tug of war with him with a piece of hose.
Okay.
He can give up good
Bill
fight.
Lynch says it's scary that the healthiest around OFR is Cherry. Ouch, ow, ow, ow. You got no broken ribs. You got no broken legs. And you're the healthiest around here, Jerry. Oh, shit.
That's really putting everybody down, bro. I'm sorry, man. I ain't got much use for myself sometimes here recently.
All right, Jerry, this is you.
Depth charge is a $5 super chat. Hope your rib heals quick. There'll be a lot of laughter when we get there next month.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's going to be a month away. I'll be healed by then. Ribs heal quickly. I mean, the first 3 or 2 days was so painful, and now there's not so much pain. I only experience pain when I use it. Like, I go to open a screen door. I walk all out back. I go to open the screen. Ow! Oh, ow, ow. I have to open the door with my other hand. In other words, it's already at no pain level unless I move or use this, you know? Like when I go to lay down in bed, oh, it hurts for the first 5 minutes. And then I get settled. And then, you know, the bones move and coordinate, and you're all good. And then you go to move off of it and they have to move back. You're like, oh my God. It's so painful. Harley says it's not bad to let go of the past as long as you learn something from it and don't repeat it. See, here's the thing. She did. You know, she's a young girl. You know, she's definitely younger than me. It was new in our marriage. Someone else promised her the world and she ended up cheating. Okay. I get that. But I also know me. You know, I won't put up with that. I won't deal with that. Blah blah blah. And to me, that makes you a hoe. You're this, you're that. I don't want nothing to do with that in my family. You know, it was the first time I had kids, the first time I was married. I thought we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this together. You know, I'm fighting the world, and I'm taking my wife and my kids with me. Well, I'm fighting the world, and I'm do anything I can to make them grow and to prosper and be the best that they can be. I'm going to teach them everything. I'm going to be the best daddy. I'm going to be the best husband. I'm going to be everything. And then she pulled that, and it destroyed me. It destroyed me. I don't understand. You know, it killed me. So I don't know. Right now, if I could see 2020, I'd go back 20 years and I'd be like, look, whatever happened. From this point on, we're together. We're going to be good for our children. We're going to be good for each other. And let's go from here. But I was so stuck on you fucking did this. So fuck you. You better do this or I'm not going to have you around, blah, blah, blah. And she put up with the way I treated her. And I didn't see that at all. She was good to me. She became a good mother to my children, her children, which I don't understand that, because how can you not be a good mother to your children when you have children? Some guy at work promised her the world and she fell for it. So the point is, if I could go back and change things, I'd go back 20 years and say, that's it. We're together and we're going to live the next 20 years in bliss, period. Because it would have been if I didn't hate her so much, But she put up with it, and I didn't take that into consideration at all. Camel Dan says ribs, rock and roll, and mullets. I got to drink to at least one of them. CJ says, who can love her more than you, brother? There's nobody on this planet that loves her more than me. That's a fact. Her family, her own 9 brothers and sisters, her own mother, her own father don't come around here and help at all. They don't give a shit. They're more fixed on hating me for taking their daughter away from their bullshit life and giving her a better life, Lito says, it'd be an awesome ceremony. Need Jerry to get ordained so he can perform the ceremony. That or the flower girl be ring boy. Y'all are awesome. Oh, thank you. And Joanne says she does know who you are, Rich. That's why she follows you around the room. I feel so special when she does that. I'm like, oh, honey, I see you looking at me. Love you. I miss you so much. I wish you could talk to me. I don't have nobody to talk to. I miss you, And I tell her stuff all the time. Bill Lynch says, you're a great man, Rich. What you do for Tracy and the fish is amazing. Heck, you even took in Jerry. Yeah, that was so painful. So painful. And it's been painful every day since.
I'm getting a kick out of it. Stab you taking the chest.
Oh, my goodness. It hurts to laugh, but you know what?
Thank you, Bill. You made him laugh.
Oh, you're so cruel. Jerry's helped me out so much. It's been great. Lorenz says, hey, Big Rich, in Dutch, we say the grass is greener on the other side. It means you don't know their problems, so be happy with what you got. You know what? And that's the thing. Everybody can promise you the world. You can think, oh, I have a man, I have a child, I have a fenced-in backyard, I have a house. But the guy next door says he'll give me a Maserati and this and that, and blah, blah, blah. And then, you think the grass is greener over there, and you go over there and you end up homeless. And now the guy you were with has to take you back in. And, it's just, yeah. People shouldn't do that. People should be thankful for what they have. If your person next to you has more than you, how did you get more than me? How? Let me know, because I'd like to get my family to that point that you are at. Don't leave your family to go, the grass is greener somewhere else at all. You want to help your family grow. Help, you have a man, you have a woman, you have all this. Let's get this better, I don't know. Oh, geez, it jumped. It jumped a lot.
We skipped him.
Okay, hang on.
Camel down.
Hang on.
Sorry. I'm not.
No, we're way past or before that.
Oh, yeah. I'm catching some of it as you go through here. Let's.
Oh, here we go. There we are. Now. Tyler Curtis says, I was raised, you love someone, you give them everything you can because you love them. You want them to do better and do the best you can no matter what. I try to do that for my wife every day. I just love her more, and she knows. You know what? That is a great relationship. If she felt the same about you, you guys are solid. You guys are there. No, she could have, a stripper guy come into her life, and she'd be like, oh, yeah, no, it'd be fun for 10 minutes, but for 100 years, yeah, you're going to cheat on me. I'm sticking with my husband. That's a wife that knows, you know what I'm saying? You don't give up 10 minutes of fun for everything you got, Will the baby pumas from Suan go into the new tank or grow up? We're going to have to move them soon, so we don't know what tank yet, but they're definitely going to have to go into.
I've only got 5 fingers. I'm trying to feed 6 of
them. And they're taking off your fingers daily.
No, they're getting to the point where I can't get food down to the other fish.
Harley Jem says, I'm ordained, going to marry my best friend's kid next year. I'll go marry Rich and Tracy if I can. I'll tell you what, Harley, I'm ordained too, so that I can do marriages here. I haven't done one yet, but I've been looking forward to it. I was going to marry last summer Jerry to his right hand, but that didn't work out.
Oh, man.
Ow!
Oh, you deserve that one. You deserve that.
I think his right hand
tonight. Every time he yanks at me, he gets poked.
I think his right hand left him.
I'm loving it. Keep him laughing.
Oh shit.
Ribs.
Michael said, y'all probably don't remember me, but
ribs. Sorry, interrupt you, but ribs is worth it.
Michael says, y'all don't remember me, but me and my son to be my wife now had to be our baby. You're missing some words there. Our baby, she is 8 months now. I really appreciated you guys. And the tank you guys gave me is still up and running. Been going strong. Well, good deal. Good deal.
Good to hear.
Shauna says, I think the first thing that should happen when Josh gets back on the Pima in the 4400 should go in the monster pond. He is getting to that point now. The problem with that is we have to put in a net in there to keep the Pima on one side and let them get along for 2-3 days and then pull the net out and let him, go the whole pond. Suan goes, hey, wasn't you going to show something from the Vasquez family? Okay, don't show it yet. Stop.
Don't stop.
No. Okay.
Don't stop.
Let me give a backstory first.
Whatever you want to do.
The Vasquez family said they can help us when I was talking about I need like a big 4-inch round tube that I can use as a gravel cleaner for the back pond, because I can siphon it out and go down to the river and then refill it, you know. And that would get out a lot of dirt that's in the pond that's settled over the last 3 years. But I needed it clear. You know, I can use a 3-inch PVC or whatever. And Basket family said they have one that's 4 inches that's clear. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Well, they sent me this thing. Okay. And it showed up. And it's, go ahead and show them, Jerry. It's 4 inches round and it's clear, but oh my God, it's like, 30 pounds. It's heavy. It's at least a half-inch thick, maybe 5/8 thick. It's thick.
That's a good solid acrylic tube.
Yeah. So what I'm going to have to do is put on a PVC tube to go down and suck up the gravel. And then when I see the dirt up here, I can pull it out of the gravel and it can go back down. And on this side, I'm going to have to attach the 2-inch hose by a PVC 4-inch to 2-inch adapter. And yes, then I can have a gravel vacuum with a 2-inch hose. And I can see, oh shit, I can see the dirt coming through it. And I can lift the gravel to the next spot. But being 4 inches, do you know how many spots I'm going to have to go on a 40-foot wide pond by 30-foot? It's going to take a long time. But yes, the Vasquez family sent this in. Thank you. This is going to work so well. I mean, preferably, I wish it was an 1/8 inch thick and it wasn't so heavy, because adding PVC to this, it's going to be, 15 pounds, added. What is that about? Oh, geez, that's about 4 pounds right there. And then you add PVC to it, it's going to be about, maybe 10 pounds.
In the meantime, we can put it in the tank with the abba, and he can blow in there and think he's hiding.
Such a waste of a good piece of acrylic. Thank you, Vasquez family.
You get that
You guys rock.
out where you can see him.
Ouch. Tyler says, me and my wife have a saying, the day I don't make her coffee in the morning and say I love you is the day I stop loving her. And that's not necessarily true. You may be tired one day and you worked all night, and she would have understanding for you that you can't do what you normally do because you worked yourself to the bone last night. So that saying doesn't really stick true. But I mean, I like the way you're going with there. So it's not the day you stop loving her. It's been 11 years every morning, even if I'm sick, coffee every day, and I say I love you. Well, that's awesome. That's amazing. But you know what it is? You have to give up for your mate, because I'm not going to find nobody better than you. I love you. Me and you are going together. We're going to create these little humans, and we're going to do it. And I trust you that you'll get me ahead. You trust me that I won't ever, and I'm going to get you ahead, and I'll be behind you every way. That's the love and trust you need right there. Doing something for somebody every day isn't really, I mean, it's great. But if somebody goes down, the other has to fill in for them. And if she goes down, you'll definitely fill in for her. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's a give and take. It's a love thing. In other words, I don't want nobody else. I want you to get ahead. I want you to be everything to me. You know what I'm saying? James McNally says, you should take morphine to kill the pain. Okay. Can someone send me some morphine? I don't have any just laying around. But thanks. There you go, Josh. Or, I'm sorry, Jerry.
Camel Dan sent in $4.99 for.
Oh, thank you, Camel Dan.
Says Jerry, puff, puff, puff.
You guys getting high. You guys are getting high all the time. I don't get it. I can only drink sometimes. I can't get drunk all the time. You guys get high all the time.
Thanks, Camel Dan.
Lee Ord says, I broke 4 ribs years ago, and the shit I'd rather get kicked in the balls 10 times than have broken ribs again. Yeah, because it just don't go away.
That's a hard call.
Back when Skylar was here, I broke 4 ribs. I came out of the a giant eagle, and it was raining, and there was a plastic bag on the ground, and I hit that, and I boom, 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 and I ended up falling on my bag of groceries, and I broke 4 ribs, and 1 was in my back. So there was 3 up front and 1 in the back, and oh my God, it hurt so bad. Oh, that was the worst. I've never ever been through that much pain. Felix says, I haven't been here in a while. Is Tracy still there? Yes, she is. She's in the living room right now, and she's doing good. She's getting very aware and watching me all the time and looking at me. And I talk to her, and she stares right at me. Gracie says, sorry, Sue Ann. I had company stop over. That's no excuse, Gracie. I'm kidding, sweetheart. I'm kidding. Oh, Gracie says, I'm just now having dinner, a healthy grilled chicken salad. Just in case you guys didn't know, I am down from 340 to 298. I'm down 42 pounds. And I'm happy that I reached under the 300 because it stayed at 300 for like 2 weeks. I couldn't get under it. So Ann says, hey, Rich, you're ordained, right? You can marry Rick and Maritza and renew me and Steve? Absolutely.
That could be done.
That'll be a great video. Of course I could. And I have all the paperwork sitting in there for you guys, ready to go. Well, I don't know about you, Sue Ann, because you're in a different state. I have Ohio papers that will, make it legal. Gracie says, Rich, how'd you break a rib? I fell pulling in all the plants from the back deck, and I landed right on one of the rocks around the pool. Okay, man, it jumped way back. Sue says, me and Steve never part ways without a kiss, and I love you no matter what. Nice. Gracie says, Brad and I are the same way, Sue Ann. See, I'd love to see true love in there. So Harley Jim says, yep, I tell you, if you're not moving each other forward, positively get out.
I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, you either grow together or you grow apart, literally.
Sue Ann says, Maritza, that's funny because our first visit to OFR was our honeymoon for our 2-week wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they used the shit out of our spare bedroom that Maritza stayed in. I'm sorry. I should have said that. Shauna says, Josh and Laura were hit by a car while on vacation in Florida. While they were walking.
Somebody must have asked.
Yeah. They were on the sidewalk. Car come up off the sidewalk and nailed them from behind. And Josh got 2 broken ankles, fractured tailbone, and a broken wrist. And Laura got 5 broken or fractured bones in her face and a broken nose and a broken leg. And then, they're healing up. But Josh had to go in and get surgery and had both ankles repaired because when he got hit, all he heard was his daughter screaming, and he ran over to her on his broken ankles. So he splintered a bunch of bones and this and that. And then, you know, so he gets his daughter and he goes to the hospital and he wouldn't let them admit him until she's taken care of. Then they admit him and he finds out he has 2 broken ankles, a fractured tailbone, and a broken wrist. So, I mean, it was all bad. It was all bad. Everything was bad. A lot of side conversations. Sean H says, Skylar hit you with a body shot to the ribs. Now, Skylar didn't have nothing to do with this. She was actually over. I was telling everybody she was over, and we had a great day together. We did a lot of stuff together. We played pool. She was back to being a sweetheart again. So she was here for a couple of hours, and we had a great time. So Ann says, side note, our first visit was 5 years ago yesterday.
Happy
Holy shit.
That's an anniversary.
Lorenz says, did Skylar body slam Big Rich and broke his ribs? No.
People are going to believe that all through.
I don't understand where that's coming from, but
Yeah.
Tyler says, getting stoned helps things more fun and things more interesting as long as you do it and still function. It helps with a lot of things. Pain, Rich. Hint, hint, hint.
He's trying.
He's trying, yeah. Harley says, I have my 18-year-old and his 2 friends watching. Kinda. Well,
Okay.
cool. Harley Jem says, renewing your vows is done many times because of turmoil in the relationship. My best friends did it on the same wedding day as an anniversary thing. Had a big party. It was nice. Oh, that's awesome. Maritza says, oh my God, I'm so excited to be remarried by Big Rich. We're so excited. I am excited to do it.
Yeah,
I love it. Loren says, I get that Hayden, but why she should know you love her. I am from another country where we don't do that. I don't know what that means. That must be a side project. Matt Lemay says, I think the Skylar body slams is hilarious. You know, screw you guys. I mean, I thought you were my friend. No, Skylar didn't body slam me. She was actually very nice last time she was here, and we had a lot of fun. But, you know, I have to do what I got to do, so I couldn't spend the whole day with her. And, you know, she had a doctor's appointment close by, so she stopped by after that. So Ann says, I don't think I can fit in my wedding dress now. Why? You just got all that hair cut off. See where I went there? You know what? You don't want remarried in your wedding dress. That was that days. Get remarried in your clothes today. How you feel today. How you look today. You don't need that old wedding dress. Mike Kirkpatrick says, did the driver ever face any consequences? They're still going to court. I can't really speak on that. I know that there's really no insurance coverage, so Josh's insurance has to cover it, and we don't know. You know, they don't cover as much as what the accident costs, and it's just all bad. It's all bad. So she ended up being, you know, like uninsured, and I can't really talk about it. So I'm sorry. It's not looking good though. Not looking good. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. Maritza says, so it looks like we need to go shopping. I don't think I'll fit mine either. Loren says, Hayden, I get that, but why have you have to prove that by renewing your vows? She has to know it by waking up next to you. Okay, that's a side project again. So he goes, Marissa, I work somewhere. I have a lot of options for a new one. There you go. There you go. As long as the grass ain't greener somewhere else, you guys can work together to make this grass green. Period. That's all there's to it. Camel Dan says, Jerry gave Rick a hit to help him with pain. I don't smoke that shit. I'm sorry. I don't. Back in the 80s when I was in school, 81, I graduated. So here's the thing. I smoked dope back then, and my problem was I'd eat everything in sight and go to sleep. I had to give it up because I was gaining weight. I don't like the shit. I don't want it. It's not for me. You know what I'm saying? So. Trading Club says Big Rich, when's the best time for donuts? It was always a good time for donuts.
Oh, don't be tempting me now.
See?
Oh, I want a hot meal so bad it ain't funny. I'm cold and I'm hungry. No
Marissa said, Sue Ann, I'll message you. We're going to have so much fun. Matt LeMay says, wrap your ribs and help me with mine. Hayden G says, I'm sure she does. It may not be a thing in Netherlands, but it's just another way to show your love to each other. Not that it ever stopped. Okay. Harley Jim says, donuts are a breakfast, a brunch thing. Morning is best. Time to make, and Sue Ann says, time to make donuts. Maritza says, Krispy Kreme donuts anytime. Campbell Dan said, you better lose some more weight before the meetup on the 7th. You can't, so you can maintain. I do have to lose more weight before they get here, and I've got another month. I'm good. Okay. Today, you know what I ate today? I ate 2 eggs. That's it. And, you know, I crunched them up, and then I mushed them, and I ate them together. That was it. That's all I've eaten today. So I'm doing this. I'm getting by with just a small amounts of protein and doing as best I can every day. Matt LeMay says, oh my God, here in Florida, Krispy Kreme donuts right out of the oven. I used to get them all the time. I'd get there at 5 a.m. when they came right off the conveyor. Wow. Sue Ann says, going to get blamed for making you eat. Well, shit. You're going to get blamed that weekend because we're going to eat good.
I don't know, as far as I'm concerned, Krispy Kremes are the fast foods of the donut world. Those ones you get from the bakery shop that are fresh made and everything. Oh.
Well, see, now you say that, but you also love to order from the local gas station.
I don't get their donuts.
No, but you get their double, sausage with egg and cheese McMuffin.
Yeah.
Buy one, get one free. And you love them.
Yeah, go ahead.
But they're not a delicacy. They're not a McDonald's. They're not a Burger King. They're not a maker of this food. You know what I'm saying?
I was using it as an example. I wasn't saying. I'm just saying Krispy Kremes are cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, I was talking about bear claws and fritters and, but I like an old cake donut. The old one, my kids used to call them dog turds. Chocolate cake donuts that you pull apart.
Oh, Train Club says, I eat apple fritters and broccoli for lunch sometimes.
Oh, it's not bad.
Oh, yuck. Either eat apple fritters for a dessert or eat broccoli with chicken or something. You know what I'm saying?
Gracie and her gaggle wants to add a boiled egg to it. That sounds good too.
Boiled eggs, and when you're hungry, grab one to eat it. They're a great protein snack. They are. And I do eat a lot of boiled eggs.
I'll throw a boiled egg on that apple fritter and broccoli.
Oh my God. Raheem's here. Says Big Rich and Jerry.
Yeah. Now that
Maritza says, Big Rich,
yeah, now
are you
that it's
making
8 o'clock, Raheem's finally here.
Right. Shauna says chocolate bar filled with cream. That reminds me. What was them called? Long Johns from the donut place.
Oh yeah.
They have the cream inside and the
Yeah.
black or chocolate on top. I love them. You know what?
Oh, you can't.
I finished the live stream with only 2 drinks. I got a whole look. I got this much left here. I got a whole drink left.
Well, I've got to find myself something to eat, and I got to finish feeding the fish and putting them to beds.
You're saying you got more work to do.
Yeah, a little bit more work, but mostly I got to feed my fish.
Eclair, Matt, Matt,
Oh,
like
the
he-
eclairs.
The eclairs, yes.
Goodness. And cream puffs too. And actually, I can make myself sick eating crab rangoons. Those are good. That's a candy.
Bavarian cream in the inside, yes, with the
Yeah.
chocolate on top. Hell yeah.
Amish donuts never made a connection.
Well, they're more
Campbell
natural.
Dan says you don't bring some Amish donuts. So I'll have to bring us some.
Tyler Kurt says, Rich, stay out here and bullshit with us a little longer, at least till that drink is gone. You'll never get a longer stay Fishy Friday. We've been on Fishy Friday one time. I think it was 8 hours was our longest. And we were drunk as shit. I was. You were stoned as fuck.
I'll go back to donuts, man. They're the Wisconsin International Raceway, where we used to go with my kids, take them to a drag strip all the time.
Yeah.
They got those little mini donuts with chocolate sauce to dip them in.
Yeah.
They got, oh man, I go to the racetrack just for the freaking donuts.
Really?
I eat a couple of bags of them little things, man. It's like sliders with chocolate dipped
It
inside.
never showed up on you. I mean, you're still bone skinny. I tell you what, though.
I've always been thin, but I am with the cancer. I'm just.
I went to Florida when I was 15. My dad threw me out, and I lived behind the pigeon coop where he caught me playing strip quarters with a bunch of girls.
Yeah.
So I had like 7 girls in there, and then me, and then my little brothers were outside the window peeking in. And he came home from work early, and he caught me in his pigeon coop with a bunch of naked girls. He threw me out. Get off my property.
Okay.
So I was 15. I had a Honda 125 that I got out of the garbage and made run. I didn't have no title to it. I didn't have no license. I didn't have nothing, right? So when I'm staying behind the pigeon coop between 2 trees and a hammock, and my brothers snuck me out a blanket to lay on and a blanket to put over me because I was sleeping outside in the cold, right? And then he found out I was living there, and he went off on me and made me leave his property. So I took my Honda 125, which was a street bike, and I drove it all the way to Florida. Well, the point was I didn't have no money. I didn't have no license. I didn't have no license plate.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm driving this thing, and it's got like a 1-gallon gas tank on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd get 50, 60 miles, and then I'd have to pull over and siphon gas. Well, you can't siphon gas in the daytime, so I'd have to wait till nighttime, and I'd siphon gas. And then I'd take off, and it's still dark. I can siphon gas again. And it took me 2 weeks to get to Florida, right? Where I get down there where my grandmother was, and she said I couldn't live with her. So now I'm living under a bridge in Florida at 15 with a Honda 125. And I would cover it up with branches at nighttime. I'd go live under the bridge, the intercoastal bridge in Florida. And then my motorcycle got stolen. Somebody took it, or maybe the police took it. I don't know. The point was, now I had nothing. And I was living under that bridge. All right. So, you know, I started going to like these temp agencies where you have to give them your ID and all this, but they've got a 2-week leeway notice. I start working for this company, And they're like, you can go out working a day. I think it was $4 an hour at the time. You can go out working for the day, and then when you come back, you get daily pay, right? So then 2 weeks goes by, and they're like, I cannot. I told them my papers were coming from Ohio. Everything I got had stolen from here, 2 weeks later, I have to go and work for the next company, and then the next company, and then the next company. And I worked myself up out of being under the bridge to where I was living on top of it was called Work World at the time. I was living on top of their building, and I'd show up for, work at 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock. And, I worked my way out of that into what was called efficiency, where it was like one house had like 17 rooms in it, and you paid $75 a week for that room, and everybody shared one bathroom, right? So I worked myself through that, and then I got an apartment, and I ended up coming back here.
And where was this story going?
That's what I'm looking at now. What did I
Or you
read?
They went on without you for a while here.
No, I'm going to read it. I'm reading your comments, guys.
Yeah, they're about here. That's about where we were. Oh, Sue-Ann's got to rub in about the live stream without OFR.
I've never had a live stream without OFR.
They were on live stream all last week without you.
Well, bullshit, I was there every week. Every day.
All night long, the live stream was still running. They were talking.
Oh, no, it only ran for an hour afterwards, and that was a YouTube problem. I had shut it off here. They kept talking amongst themselves, but that's okay.
No, you shut it off, but it was a YouTube thing, but they were still conversing with each other.
Training club says $75 a week sounds like too much back then. I'll tell you what, it was 1981. I graduated, so it was 1980. It was $75 a week. It was expensive, but I got to sleep indoors.
Oh, Matt LeMay. I love good banana bread. Matt says he's making banana bread tomorrow. Keep the donuts. Good banana bread. That's good. Carrot cake's pretty good too. Are you looking for something specific?
Yeah, what triggered me to say that story?
Oh, I don't know. You're way pal right now.
I don't know. I don't know why I said that story. I'm sorry.
Oh wow. And Shauna's making banana pancakes. Oh jeez. They gotta rub it in, boy. Mama said, no.
Train Club says, would you move back to Florida? Absolutely not. It is so hot. I mean, you walk out your door. Let's say you wake up, you take a shower, you get dressed. Let's say you have to go to court or you have to go to downtown building something. So you got a nice shirt, you got your slacks on, you got your shoes and your socks on, and you open up the door and you get punched in the face with hot, moist air, and you're instantly sweating. And then you show up in court and your pits are soaking wet, your neck is wet, your tight shirt is wet. It's horrible. Florida sucks. Holy shit, we learned tonight that Gracie was a carny. He says, when I left home, I went to work for a carnival. I worked at that carnival for 20 years. Holy shit. Gracie was a carny.
That's a workout.
Gil 334 says, question. Vic from Fish Story Rescue just lost a big jelly cat. Fluid in the swim bladder. Can you remove the fluid with a tube like we do with deep sea fish? We have air bladder. And yes, you can. Okay, we did a thing here where we had a 4 foot, 3.5 foot, I'd say, peacock bass, and he had a swim bladder infection, and he turned sideways and was upside down and all that. We inserted a needle under one of his things and got into the soft part, and we extracted a bunch of air, and he was able to sit back up, and then he grew from there and died like, I don't know, a year later of old age. I mean, you can do that. You can, okay. I feel I caught up. Gracie says, I worked for Nolan Amusements out of Zanesville, which is Ohio, for 20 years, traveled everywhere.
Well, that you got some
That makes you a carny. You've got stories, you know. All right. Camel Den says, I was born in 1981. Motherfucker, I graduated in 1981. Tyler or Train Club says, I answered this already. Would you move back to Florida? Absolutely not. No. I was around Boca Raton, Delray Beach, Fort Lauderdale, the Boynton Beach, Lake Ida. I was all around all that for years, and no, I would not go back there. Prince Vino says, we get hurricanes here in Miami. They knock out power. How long will a tank last without power? And therefore, the air bubbler can't work. Also, does tank size matter? How long without bubbles? Tank size definitely matters. The bigger the tank, the longer you have without bubbles. But if you get yourself, and they're cheap, go up to Walmart and go to the fishing section. Get yourself some minnow airs, they're called. Minnow air. They're like $7. They take 2 D-cell batteries, and on them 2 batteries, they last like 3 days. They will pump out air. Okay? So you put one on every tank. And when your tanks go out, you can turn on these little minnow airs, and they will pump for 3 days, which you should be back in, have your power back in within 3 days. And they will pump for 3 days straight on 2 D-cell batteries. You can either buy a bunch or you can buy a D-cell battery charger, and boom. I love them. That they work great.
You can put a default crossover in there so that it automatically goes to the battery backup. If you got a bigger system, you can get one of those Odins, battery pack. They last for days.
All right. Well, here's the last of this cup. Starting my third cup. Shit, we're already at 8:20.
Yeah.
Usually you're out of here by 8.
Yeah.
He just, yeah. See, I don't worry about water changes basically because when my power goes out, I have the main pump on a battery backup. I don't know, what do you want to call it? It lasts for like 8 hours. And it keeps everything going. The water splashing in, it makes bubbles. So I make sure every water that comes into a tank is above the water and splashing down. So we're good to go. If our power goes out for a little bit, we're good to go. And then I have a big power backup generator. So I think it's 3,200 watts. And all we gotta do is start that and plug the pump into that. And if we have to, we can plug the air pump into that because you guys know my air pump runs the entire fish room. So. Oh, Gracie says, glad to see Jerry hanging out with you tonight. Train Club says, how often do you change the water in your tanks? On our
Whatever the tank needs.
no. On our what do we do? Acclimation tanks. All of our tanks that aren't hooked to our system, it's 1 day, 4 days, whatever it needs, depending on the amount of fish in there. And then on our system, we never change water on any of our system tanks. We have like 2,000 gallons a day pouring in, and we have an automatic dripper of prime going in, and we don't have to worry about any of that. Camel Dan says, how many fish have you donated to the Cleveland Aquarium? Sheesh. Back in the day, probably about 30 back then, maybe 10 cents. We donate, a lot. We work with Cleveland Aquarium. We have Nick Zarlinga is our contact there, and he helps out, Brian Moreau, good question. So cool to see the Pacu, the hybrid, the new tank. Any word on the background for the Pacu tank? That's what we've been waiting on without ordering that window because he said it was going to be here. But you know what? We haven't heard from him in like 2 months, and we keep texting him, and I don't know if he's even building a background for us. So, he might be shamed for it. I don't know. All I know is we're not ready. We need to order that window for that tank, and that's all we got to do. And you've seen we can put glass in and have it ready to go. If we had the glass here tomorrow, I can have that tank up and running probably a day after. No problem. Tyler says, no one has said in a while. Ribs! Train Club says, I know a guy that changes his water in his cichlid tank every day. I think it's excessive and stresses the fish out, and he disagrees. See, he's wrong.
Hey,
He's wrong.
I've seen African cichlid tanks that needed their water changed every damn day.
But this guy's wrong. The only time you need a water change is when your nitrates reach above 40 parts per million. Let's say his tank is at 20, and then the next day it's at 23, and he's changing half of that water, right? He's putting in water softeners. He's putting in water. He's putting all these chemicals in that these fish don't normally deal with, right? You're putting in chlorinated water. You're putting in water softeners that eat the chlorine and this and that. It's not healthy for them. It's not. What you want to do is test your water every day. Here's the trick of your water changing schedule. It's very simple. I don't understand how people don't understand this, but I've been in it for a long time, so I know it's very simple. Okay, you got a tank, and this is why a lot of people kill fish, because they get a new tank, they fill it up. Oh, the water's clear. Let me buy a bunch of fish. There's no bacteria in there yet. The bacteria is what eats the nitrites, changes it, or eats the ammonia, changes it into nitrites, and then eats the nitrites, a different type of bacteria, and changes it into nitrates, which are less harmful to fish. And when they build up, you need to change the water. Without this cycle, it's called, you add new fish because you got to, oh, look, I just opened up a 7,000 gallon huge pool pond. Let's buy, $3,000 in stock of fish. Oh, your fish died. That's your fault. No, that's your fault because you didn't have the bacteria to build it up. So now let's go on a smaller scale. Somebody buys a 20-gallon tank and they buy 8 fish to go in there, all within 2 to 4 inches. And then 2 days later, half of those 8 fish are dead. They blame it on the pet store. It's not the pet store's fault. Here's the thing. You have to have enough bacteria to eat the ammonia that your fish are pissing. And then that turns it into nitrites, which are still deadly to fish. And then you have to have enough bacteria that eats nitrites and turns it into nitrates. And then once that happens, that's less deadly to fish, but when it builds up, it can harm fish. You don't want nothing more than, say, I keep mine at 20, 25, but you don't want nothing more than 40, you know what I'm saying, of nitrites. So you get a tank. What I do, my personal thing is, I buy liquid ammonia. And let's say this is a 10-gallon tank, I want 10 fish in here. I think each fish will, piss this much. Okay, so 10 fish will piss around a teaspoon a day. So you take a teaspoon a day of this liquid ammonia and you pour it in your tank. And then all of a sudden you're testing it daily. All of a sudden your ammonia spikes way up. Well, you will not have bacterial growth unless you have an ammonia spike. Now the ammonia builds and they grow and they grow and they grow. And next thing you know, your ammonia goes down. But then your nitrites, because when these bacteria eat the ammonia, they release nitrites. Now the nitrites spike up and you get different bacterial things that grow and eat the nitrites. And then they're eating every day and they're producing nitrates. And then all of a sudden, the ammonia is down to 0, the nitrites are down to 0, and your nitrates are building. That's when you can stop adding ammonia and put in fish. Now, a lot of people say, oh, just do it with goldfish. You're putting them goldfish at harm's bay for sure. 2, you got 2 goldfish in there thinking you're going to cycle your tank, and then you want to buy these big fish to put in there, or many fish to put in there. Ain't going to work. You've got to cycle the tank with as many fish that you think is going to suit how many the new fish you got is going to produce in ammonia, right? So if you got 2 fish in there, you can't add 20 fish because they're going to produce a lot more ammonia. And then you're going to have a mini cycle and it's going to be harmful to your fish and you're going to have some fish die off. So what you got to do is, I've got a 7,000 gallon tank. I want 10 big 3-footers in there. Well, a 3-foot catfish will probably piss about a cup a day. So for every catfish you want in there, you got to put in a cup of piss on a 7,000 gallon tank. So we're putting in 10 cups of ammonia, clear ammonia you can buy from the pet store, and you put that in there. Now, 2 weeks later, you see the ammonia levels going down. That means that your bacteria is growing for the amount of ammonia you've got going in there. It ain't 1 fish, it ain't 2 fish, it's these 10 fish. And now you see a spike in nitrites. Of course, you keep feeding that every day. And that nitrite level will go down because now you've got this bacteria eating ammonia, turning into nitrites, and now new bacteria is growing, and it's going to eat the nitrites and turn it into nitrates. And then once the nitrites and the nitrates are down to 0, and it start producing nitrates, Did I say that right? Ammonia and nitrites are producing nitrates. Okay. Now, once they're producing nitrates, the only way to get that out of your water is plants or water changes. So once you've got the amount of ammonia that you want for the fish growing, and it's zero levels, zero nitrates, zero ammonia, and you're producing nitrates, then you can put fish in there and they will not die because there's enough bacteria in there to cover the fish. And then you do water changes to do it. Now, here's the thing on water changes. Oh, my neighbor has a 75-gallon. He changes it once a week and it's fine. That's not your schedule. Stop thinking that. Stop doing that shit. You have to take a test every day. All right, my ammonia is 0. My nitrites are 0. Here's the nitrates. Now, when that reaches 40, you have to do a 50% water change, right? And then you take every single day testing of your water. And when it reaches 40 again, whether it be 3 days or 3 weeks, then you do a 50% water change to bring it back down to 20, okay? Now, if it takes you 3 weeks or 2 months, that is now your water change schedule until you add more fish. Every 3 months, it gets up to 40. I'm changing half a tank. It brings it down to 20. That's great. You add another fish, now it's going to be less. It's going to be, you're going to have to change your water changes schedule because your neighbor that changes it once a week doesn't have the same fish as you, doesn't have the same filtration as you, doesn't have the same, volume as you do. So you got to do this the right way. Get yourself a test kit and test daily, and you will know the scientific part of fish keeping, and you will know when to do water changes. All right, let me go back up. All right, I answered them. Tyler says, no one's setting wild ribs.
That was a wild man.
Yeah.
You already called that.
Oh, yeah. Drain Glove says, I know a guy who changes the water every day in a cichlid tank. Yeah, that's unnecessary and it's stressful on the fish.
Well, I'm gonna have to call tonight. I wish I could share some ribs with everybody, but
You said it.
don't have any.
Camel Dan says, do you think By the Fish really doesn't have to do water changes? I think that is BS. If he does, he just doesn't say he does. Here's the thing about By the Fish. He's onto it because if you go to a farmer's pond, you can catch big bucket mouth bass around all the plants, right? And it's a small pond, but he never does a water change. It's the plants that do the situation, okay? They have enough bacteria in there to eat the ammonia, turn it into nitrites, and then they have enough bacteria to turn it into nitrates, and then the plants put off enough oxygen to lower down the nitrates. So you go to any, let's say your grandfather's got a house for 90 years and in his backyard's a pond. He's never changed the water once, but you can go catch big, huge, great, big bucket mouth bass. It's the plants that do the work, okay? The problem with fish tanks is you can't have a 55-gallon and then, 20 foot of plants eating all that off of there to where you don't have to change the water. Plants do help, yes. The more plants you have, the less between water changes you got to do, period. Bob Taylor says, who's going to see the new Rush? It's not really the new Rush. It's Rush touring with a new drummer. It's not the new Rush because, you know, they love their drummer. Neil Peart was a motherfucker. He was amazing. And they're just having somebody fill in for him so they can do another tour. And, you know, I don't see it as the new Rush. Shauna says, years ago I had a tank. I never cleaned it. It was clear with healthy fish, but as soon as I broke it down to move my new pleco, I could never get it back to that state again. That was like 13 years ago. Yes. See, the fact that it's clear means nothing. The point is you had enough bacteria from never cleaning it that would eat up the ammonia, the nitrites, and turn it into nitrates, you know, and then you had enough plant growth that was eating the nitrates. And, you know, you take out any one of those things and then your tank goes sour quick. Train Club says, I just drank a few Miller Lights to get some ammonia. You know what? Seriously, don't repeat this, but you can acclimate a brand new tank by pissing in it. That's ammonia. I mean, you're buying ammonia from the store to put in the tank. You can piss in it, you know, but, you know, now you take out the amounts that you can, you know, I'm going to have, you know, 6 fish in there. They're going to do this much amount. And I'm going to, you know, you got to put that much of ammonia in there. Now, if you're going to have 6 huge fish trapped to your new 7,000 gallon tank, you got to figure each fish is going to do a cup of piss a day. So you got to do 7 cups of ammonia a day. You can't piss that much, or you can't measure that much by pissing, but it is possible to piss in your tank. I mean, seriously. And the more Miller Lights you drink, the less ammonia you're putting out. You ever notice that when you eat something, you piss yellow? When you drink something, you piss clear? Yeah, that's a lot less ammonia in the piss. It's that yellow piss you want as ammonia. Okay. Ronaldo says, I don't know about peeing in my tanks. I don't want to give my kids any ideas. No, there's a whole scientific thing behind that. You can buy ammonia to start a tank instead of putting a bunch of goldfish in there and killing them off. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. I'm not saying go pee in your tanks, people. Absolutely not. But you can get results by doing that. If you do it scientifically, people have to check their water daily and see where they're going. Are you building ammonia? Are you building nitrites? That means if you're building nitrites, that means the ammonia has done their job and they're eating the ammonia and turning it into nitrites. Now you have a stack of nitrites. Now you need to wait until enough bacteria goes to eat the nitrites and turns it into nitrates. Once it's into nitrates, there's no way to get rid of it other than plants and water changes. So then you test it daily and see, oh, my nitrites are building, blah, blah, you know, nitrates. Of course, they're building. Okay, with the amount of fish you have in there, because every different fish tank is different, the amount of fish in there is going to be different. So when it builds up to 40, then you know to change half the tank and bring it back down to 20. And if it takes you a week to 2 months to build back up to 40, that's your water change schedule right there. It's never going to be the same as your neighbor, never going to be the same as somebody else, because you got different fish, you got a different size tank, you got, you know, a lot of things make it different. You're fucking funny. Oh my god. You people are funny. All right, guys. I'm gonna get out of here. It's been fun. Hope you learned something. Hope you, figure something out. And hope you had a good time. I appreciate it. So I'm out of here, and we'll see you next Friday on, Stay Fishy Friday. I appreciate you hanging out here with us tonight. I had a blast. Thank you. And I'm out here.